happiness in Pittsburgh is the Steelers being tied for the best record in the NFL, and they've done that by winning 8 straight games. They will be matched up against an NFC rival today as they try to extend that winning streak. The Washington Redskins are 3-7, but Coach Joe Gibbs says they haven't given up on the season. They want to finish with wins. Despite the Steelers' 8-game winning streak, there's no room to breathe. There are 7 teams in the AFC with records of 7-3 or better, including Baltimore in their division. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NFL on Fox. I'm Sam Rosen with a man who starred here in Pittsburgh for the Panthers, Bill Moss. And here in Pittsburgh, what a great story Ben Roethlisberger is and the success he's having as a rookie quarterback. But the success of the Pittsburgh Steelers is based on a whole lot more, Bill.
Oh, a heck of a lot more. And in the words of Burt Reynolds, the number one thing, we must protect the quarterback. And that's exactly what the Steelers do. They do it by running the football. They run the heck out of the football, and they really choose and select Roethlisberger's passes. It's the fewest attempts in the NFL of any quarterback that's played. And today, I think you're going to see more of the same. You're going to see a heavy dose of Bettis. You're going to see them create third and short, and that's when they're selective in their passes and what they do for them.
Now, the Washington Redskins are struggling all season, especially offensively. They're 3-7, but their defense is second-ranked in the NFL, and that keeps them in games, and that has Coach Bill Cowher and the Steelers worried today.
I think so, and I think it's really bothering Bill. And it's not that you're playing a 3-7 team. It's more along the lines of how you match up with each and every team. And I think the Washington Redskins really match up well against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and really on defensive side of the ball. They're the number 2 defense in the NFL. They can stop the run, and they are going to commit everything to stopping that run so that they can get these guys right here, the secondary, blitzing Roethlisberger. They're going to play man-to-man. They're going to play zone. They're going to come after him. But you have to create third and long, and they're going to challenge this young quarterback.
Bill, there's still time to select your singular fantasy football on Fox team for this week. Text message the word play to 63504 on your singular wireless phone, or log on to foxsports.com to make your choices. We're at Heinz Field. Chris Myers is coming back with a Heinz of a different variety right after these messages.
Welcome back to Heinz Field. Redskins and Steelers ready to kick it off. Down on the field, Chris Myers with Heinz Ward of the Steelers. You guys go for 9 straight. It's been kind of a magical season so far.
Yeah, it has been. It's been a magical season. I mean, it's playing in Heinz Field, having all the crowds here, and we're undefeated at home. And today we want to continue that and try to win all of them in Heinz Field today.
No Plexico Burris, no Deuce Staley. How do you avoid falling into a trap with this Redskin team that comes in with a good defense?
Yeah, their defense is solid. The guys who stepped in just had to step up their game, and we can't lose a beat. That's been the case all year. We had guys go down, and the guys who came in and replaced them did a phenomenal job. So Antoine Randall is going to step in for Plex, and I look for big plays out of him today.
All right, good luck.
Thank you, there.
All right, Heinz Ward. It's cold down here on the field, Sam, but the Steelers are red hot.
Thanks, Chris. You're right about that, and they are really hyped up about the Steelers' turnaround from 6-10 last season. The Steelers will receive. John Hall is back in the lineup after missing the last 5 games with a groin injury and was kicking well in pregame warmups. The Steelers have Ike Taylor and Ricardo Coakley, 2 defensive backs deep for the kickoff return. Antoine Randall will return punts, but he is starting at wide receiver. Hall kicks it away, and we're underway. The line drive bounces down to Coakley at the 8-yard line. Coakley slipped one man, and another stays on his feet and gets up to the 30. That's a good effort return by Ricardo Coakley. He got about 12 or 13 extra yards. Finally brought down by Billy Strother, backup linebacker. Ben Roethlisberger with 8 consecutive wins in his 8 starts. This is his 10th game overall, completing nearly 69% of his passes. Offensive line leading a rushing attack that is #1 in the NFL. Jerome Bettis starts his 4th straight game. Deuce Staley will be back next week. Dan Kreider's done a good job at fullback. Caught 4 passes last week. Kreider and Bettis in the backfield. 2-man motions. Bettis carries. And the bus gets a couple of yards up to the 32. Antonio Pierce, the middle linebacker, made the stop. As we told you, the Redskins defense has been outstanding. They get Cornelius Griffin back. He missed last week with a hip injury, though Philip Daniels is still out. The linebackers have been outstanding. LeVar Arrington is still out, 9th straight game he's missed, but Antonio Pierce has played very well in the middle. And as Bill told you, the secondary may be the best in the NFL. Sean Taylor, the rookie, has been outstanding. The cornerbacks, excellent one-on-one coverage. 3 wide receivers for Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger is wrapped up. He was sacked 7 times last week, and he is sacked here on his first pass attempt. Cornelius Griffin with his 5th of the season.
Yeah, how about this? This guy really makes a big difference, and they got away from him when he was injured, and the defense kind of took a little sag, Sam, but when he comes back, he can really put up some pressure, and it's that kind of pressure and penetration in the backfield that disrupts any offense. I don't care if it's a run, a pass. If you're playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage, you are going to create some problems for the defense.
Want to give Marcus Washington some credit, too. He was the first man there, and he and Griffin combined on the sack. Steelers have to get to the 40 on 3rd down. Roethlisberger moving. Very mobile quarterback, gets chased, throws it downfield, incomplete. Intended for for Lee Mays. Ronaldo Wynn with good pressure, so a good defensive series for the Redskins.
You know, I think that when you take a look at Ben Roethlisberger, you see his size right off the bat, and you think, oh, that's a big pocket passing quarterback out of the mold of a Jim Kelly or Dan Marino, or Peyton Manning. But that's not him. He can run.
Yeah.
To me, he has some Donovan McNabb in him.
He's a good athlete. Played basketball, he's played baseball. The coach is challenging him to play racquetball, but he hasn't done that yet. Good punt by Chris Gardocki. James Thrash at the 23. On the return, good tackle on the play. James Harrison, backup linebacker, number 92, gets down with an excellent tackle. 52-yard punt by Chris Gardocki. And there is a flag back near the Steelers' 23-yard line. Bernie Kukar is our referee today, one of the best in the NFL. And Bernie will clue us in.
Holding number 34 of the kicking team. That's a 10-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So the Redskins make the Steelers punt it again, move them back 10 yards, because that was an outstanding punt by Gardocki.
You know, Sam, both these teams are out of the same mold as I look at them. Both want to run the football and control it. Both want to play great defense and change the field position on you in special teams. Washington came out and forced the 3-and-out. They stuffed the run on 1st down, incomplete pass, a sack. That's changing the field. Right now, they've changed the field. Now with the penalty, they're going to get a short field.
Gardocki standing at the 1-yard line, long count. Never had one blocked. He gets this one away nicely. James Thrash at the 38. Down in a hurry, Ike Taylor. And he holds on and won't let him go.
Great coverage.
Thrash taken down at the 42. Good field position for the Washington Redskins. 47-yard punt by Chris Gardocki. Patrick Ramsey with his 2nd start of the season, his 18th career start. He says it's his time now. He started last week, felt he did okay as the game went along against the Eagles. Offensive line is changed on the right side. Ray Brown moves to guard, and the rookie Mark Wilson starts at right tackle, his first NFL game. Clinton Portis in the backfield needs 72 yards for his 3rd straight 1,000-yard season. On 1st down, quick outside to Lavernius Coles. Gets up to the 45-yard line, picked up 3 on the play. Steelers defense, they're number 1. They played the 3-4. Aaron Smith has 7 sacks on the season. The linebackers are outstanding. Larry Foote has done a great job. Kendrell Bell is out. James Farrier may be the defensive MVP. Troy Polamalu leads with 4 interceptions. And he's had a great year, a Pro Bowl type year. Steelers coming with a blitz. Portis gets by the first wave, but they stop the play. It's a false start on the Redskins.
They got a little antsy. I think they got the look they wanted.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's going to be on Lavernius Coles outside. And he knew he had a block then. He knew. And they got the look they wanted. And the Steelers blitz. They came with those linebackers up inside, right in the middle. And what you'd like to do when you get that situation is run at it. And they hit it perfect. And I think Coles, it didn't have anything to do with the crowd noise. I think he was just a little anxious to get down there and make his block.
Coles and Gardner go left. They split the tight end out right. Here comes the blitz look. Here they come. Larry Foote. He dropped it off to Chris Cooley. Ramsey did a good job getting rid of it with Larry Foote all over him. Troy Polamalu takes down Chris Cooley back at the original line of scrimmage, the 42.
Speaking of Foote, we have a shoe off of Foote right there. And this is what they're going to do all day long. And they're the Steelers. They're going to create different scenarios. And you're thinking, how in the world could that not get picked up? Well, the problem is when you want to put your pass protection together and face this defense is you're looking left, you're looking right. They're trying to find out. It might be a safety. It might be an outside linebacker. It might be an inside line. You never know who's coming.
Travis Kershke is in. 6 defensive backs for the Steelers on 3rd and 10. Ramsey. Late blitz. They got him. Clark Higgins came late on the blitz. A league-leading 32nd sack for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that's exactly what I was just talking about. You don't know where anybody is coming from. Watch number 53. He's all the way on the other side. He's over here. And he's coming around and looping around the backside. Higgins was all the way on the left, came all the way around the right, and no one knew. You lost him in all the traffic.
Tom Tupa with a line driver. It bounces past Antoine Randall goes back to get it at the 6. In trouble. Bellies back to the goal line. Cuts back upfield, gets to the 6-yard line. So a line drive kick by Tupa took a Washington bounce. Randall chased it down, and a dangerous move, but the Steelers have the ball and will start from their 6-yard line.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
This is the 6th game played in 8 days here at Heinz Field. As Bill Moss mentioned in the pregame show, it rained all morning. The middle of the field will wear. There was a note on the locker room for the Redskins: wear your lengthy cleats for traction. Bad weather for hailing a cab, but it could be good weather for the bus. Sam?
Thanks, Chris. Steelers come out with 2 tight ends. Redskins have 4 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers, 3 defensive backs.
I see
That's Bettis. No gain, maybe a yard on the play, gained a yard.
That's the commitment to the run, Sam, to stopping the run. They're going to find a way to stop it. Now, look who's coming in. So the Steelers say, okay, if you want to bring those people out on the field, I'm going to take off the tight end. Remersma is coming out, and I'm going to put in a split end. So now they know they've committed to stopping the run. So now the Steelers have to find a way to get over the top on it.
Steelers shift. Ward and Randall come to the left. Now it's Hines Ward in motion. Roethlisberger for Antoine Randall with a nice grab and a nice spin move. And up to the 35-yard line. Sean Taylor takes him down. Beautiful move by Antoine Randall, starting for the injured Plaxico Burress.
Well, look at this. They come to a bare front. The bare front is 5 down linemen now. And look at the pressure on Roethlisberger. That's Brandon Noble right in his face, hitting him. But Roethlisberger on the snap recognized man-to-man coverage outside. If you're committing to stopping the run, your corners are going to play man-to-man. And these are 2 fine corners to do it. Roethlisberger made a heck of a throw.
Picked up 27 on the play. 2 tight ends in as Hines Ward's in motion. Jerome Bettis turned it upfield beautifully. Picked up about 8 on the play to the 42-yard line. The bus has been absolutely brilliant. He's averaged 30 carries over the last 3 games. He's carried 91 times and has rushed for over 100 yards in each of the last 3 games.
Well, when you run the football, there's some guys up front doing some work. And you're going to see number 84 right there. See that push and see that drive? He buries the defensive end, Philip Daniels.
2 tight ends again on 2nd and 2. And it's Jerome Bettis And he's very close to the first down line. Deuce Staley practiced all week, but he practiced with the scout team. He's close to being 100%. They're holding him back, precautionary. They expect him to be back next week. With the way Jerome Bettis has been running, there's no need to rush Deuce Staley back.
Well, and they're the same type runner, Sam. They're both big and they're both powerful running backs. So they have the same running plays. It's not as if you have to change running plays from a small back to a big back. It's the same stuff over and over.
First down, Steelers. Ryan Bischetti, rookie out of UCLA, is in on defensive line for the Redskins. Roethlisberger had time, going deep, and overthrows Hines Ward. He was well covered by Sean Springs. Time for an update. Let's see what's going on around the NFL and go to JB.
Hey, Sam. Panthers looking for their third straight win. Take a look at Terry Bradshaw's favorite quarterback, Jake Delhomme, hooking up with Kerry Colbert, rookie out of USC, 24 yards to pay dirt, and it's Panthers on top early 7-0 over the Buccaneers. Back to Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, and Chris Myers.
I thought Roethlisberger was Terry's new favorite quarterback.
He'll blow with the wind now.
Okay. On 2nd and 10. The play fake. Roethlisberger throws deep again. Flag on the play. It's broken up by Sean Springs, intended for Antoine Randall.
Sean Springs was all over Antoine Randall. You know, on this wet field, and you have a shifty guy like a light shifty guy like Antoine Randall. It's tough for those backs to stay with him, and I think Springs just had a handful of cloth as he's carrying them down the field.
Very versatile man, Antoine Randall, a quarterback in college, the third wide receiver, an excellent punt and kick returner. Bernie Kukar with the penalty call.
Illegal use of hands. Number 24 of the defense, hands to the face. That penalty is declined. Defensive pass interference. Number 24 out of the first down.
Sean Springs did a lot of bad things to Randall.
Well, you can see the hands all over him.
A costly pass interference call.
Well, costly, Sam, on two things. Now, this is the second big play given up by the Redskins defense. It's 32-yard penalty. Second big play because they're in man-to-man coverage because they have to commit to stopping the run. An extra body up there.
Brandon Barnes in for the Redskins, the linebacker from the Redskins 24. Bettis wrapped up. Good penetration on the play by the rookie, Ryan Bischetti, who was just signed off the practice squad this week with the injuries. Jermaine Haley is out with an injury. He was hurt last week. And Philip Daniels remains out.
Yeah, I said Philip Daniels before. I meant Demetric Evans, 92. But he's going to be the right end right here. And watch the penetration he gets. Hands on, hands off, and in the backfield. You know, and I've had that happen to me before, too. It's you pop free as a defensive end, and you catch yourself falling off balance. If the back wasn't there to wrap up, he would have fell on the ground.
2nd and 12. It's Bettis getting a yard back, and Cornelius Griffin with a good play. Griffin has been the star on the defensive line for the Redskins all season long, a free agent pickup, and he has really stepped up.
I got to tell you, the commitment to attacking that offensive line by the Redskins and attacking the bus. If they can keep that run under control like this for the afternoon, it's going to pay off.
Ron Haynes and Willie Parker in for the Steelers in the backfield with Ben Roethlisberger. 3rd and 11. They have to get to the 19, rather the 14 for a first down. Roethlisberger wrapped up. Down he goes. Chris Clemens. He was just signed off the Cleveland Browns practice squad this week. He was with the Redskins in training camp. Look at the speed of Clemens.
Absolutely unbelievable. He's on the outside here, and the secret weapon he was called. He said, excuse me, when I say he, I'm talking Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator. He told us, Sam, that this guy is so fast. He says, no one knows. Normally, if you sign somebody off of someone else's practice squad, you don't play him the same week. He said, this guy is so fast, I'm going to create situations where he's going to get to the outside and use his speed.
And because he was in camp, in training camp with the Redskins, they knew him. They knew what he could do, and they signed him off the Browns practice squad. Flag goes down. Looks like a delay of game call coming up. Redskins have pushed the Steelers back out of field goal range.
Delay a game, offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Chris Gardocki is in to punt. Trying to pin the Redskins deep. See the numbers on Gardocki. Never had one blocked, having punted for Chicago, Indianapolis, and Cleveland prior to joining the Steelers this season. Looking for the corner. Oh, kicked it straight up, very short. It bounces at the 20, takes a Redskins bounce, and goes out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. That's where it is. They didn't get much on that at all. Redskins on offense when we come back. Joe Gibbs has been frustrated over the offense this season, and he takes the blame on his shoulders. He says, put it on me. They have not scored more than 18 points in a game this season. Portis and Cooley in the backfield. Rod Gardner in motion. And it's Clinton Portis. Almost found the opening, but a good tackle on the play by James Farrier.
You know, and you mentioned Joe Gibbs, and anybody that knows him or has been around him knows that that's the high road he's going to take. And that's the only thing he would say about it. Anything that around him that is struggling, he's going to take the blame for it. That's the type of person he is. But it's not Joe Gibbs. It's their feeling out process still of what kind of offense they have.
Gardner in motion. And it's Portis again. And he's stopped again by James Farrier. Farrier's having a tremendous season.
Well, offensive struggles, one thing. There's no place to run. That's the offensive line, and it's the combination of finding out what Portis is all about. No time to throw. The throws are behind the wide receiver. There's overthrown footballs. You have drop passes. Everything you can do bad in football. There's no yards after the catch, after they catch it. Everything they do bad or can go wrong in football and offense, they do it. And they just haven't put all the pieces together in the right spot yet on offense.
James Thrashin is a third wide receiver on 3rd down and long. Ramsey throws, completes it short out of the backfield. Liddell Betts up to the 31-yard line, but short of the 1st down. Deshae Townsend takes down Liddell Betts, and the Redskins send the punting unit out. The battle of the 2 top-ranked defenses in the NFL. Pittsburgh #1, Washington #2.
Hey, get used to it, folks. With the conditions of the field, it could be like this all day long.
Tom Tupa, most punts of anyone in the NFL. Antoine Randall is deep. Randall from the 24. Got by Thrash. Got by a couple of more. Stays on his feet and turns it upfield. Gets by Tupa. Being chased by Washington. And he is spun out of bounds. What a return by Antoine Randall. Marcus Washington saved a touchdown by taking him out at the 18-yard line. A 59-yard return for Antoine Randall.
And that's the second part of what I said before. You said 2 defensive teams struggling back and forth, back and forth. I said, get used to it on a field like this. This is what it's going to be like all day long. And the second part of that is something usually happens in those kind of games on special teams that breaks it. Whether it's a big return like that, a field goal, some obscure happening on the special teams will win or lose those kind of games.
It's officially a 60-yard return to the 17. Bettis barrels his way through an opening inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Cornelius Griffin makes the stop.
You know, the bus, his size, his demeanor, his patience in the backfield as a runner. Just take a look at him. He's going to stop for like a cup of coffee. The bus stops. There's a little coffee break right there. He's got his hand on somebody. He stops. He pauses. But he is so patient back there and that when he gets in the hole, he doesn't have to have a whole head of steam.
There was a traffic jam. He had to wait for it to clear up. This time he's stopped by Marcus Washington. We talked about the linebackers of the Redskins. They have been really good despite the loss of LeVar Arrington for 9 weeks. Washington has played well. Antonio Pierce and Lamar Marshall have done a good job.
Yeah, and they've caught the eye and the respect of all the coaches on the defensive staff and the head coach himself. Lamar Marshall, Antonio Pierce, and Marcus Washington. And along with the safety, strong safety, Ryan Clark, he said, hey, I wanted to cut these guys. Greg Williams said, I wasn't sure who they were. I did camp. I didn't think they were any good. I wanted to cut them. He said, boy, have they proved me wrong.
4 wide receivers for the Steelers. Veron Haynes in the backfield. Roethlisberger looking. Nobody open. He throws wide. Intended for Lee Mays at the goal line.
This Roethlisberger, this is what he does well. This is what separates him from other quarterbacks, is his ability to move. To me, he has the grit of Brett Favre, and the height of a Donovan McNabb, of Dante Culpepper, and the maneuverability of Donovan McNabb. He does all 3 of those things. You know, he moves, and that buys time, that extends the play, that carries things forward, and it gives receivers time to get open.
Now looking for the first points of the game. Jeff Reed, who's 12 for 17. Gardocki, the holder. The kick is on the way, and it's through. So the long punt return, 60 yards by Antoine Randall sets the Steelers up to score first. 33-yard field goal by Jeff Reed. Some of the key men on the kickoff coverage team of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sean Morey is usually the first man down. His opposite number, James Thrash, who's a key man on specials for Washington, says Morey is a very, very good special teams player. They were together in Philadelphia. Know each other very well. Steelers with a 3-0 lead. Jeff Reed set to kick off. Straight ahead goes Liddell Betts. James Harrison takes him down at the 30-yard line. Redskins go on offense for the 3rd time in the game. Good coverage by the Steelers. James Harrison comes down, fights the wedge, makes the tackle.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. By Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game. By Sharp Aquos. Suddenly there's more to see. And by new M3 Power from Gillette. Feel the power of the world's best shave.
Great Steeler fans. Bill, I want you to say hello to the fans in Fall River, California watching you today.
Hello, fans in Fall River, California. That's the home of Mark Wilson.
That's their favorite son, who's making his first and playing in his first NFL game and starting. He was inactive for 7 games. Preston did not play for 3 others. Starting at right tackle. Ramsey off the play fake. Throwing incomplete. Let's go down to the sideline. Chris Myers standing by. Chris.
Sam, that city in Northern California, just a total of 600 the population. And I talked to his mother, Mark Wilson's mother and father. They're gathering at their uncle's, watching on DirecTV on the NFL ticket. They had tried to fly here to Pittsburgh for his first start, but couldn't get a ticket back. Mark, of course, started all 4 years when he was a Cal, but studied American studies, planned on being a park ranger. Instead of worrying about Bears, he has to worry about Steelers at his first start.
He's got plenty to worry about there. Late blitz coming. The toss is to Portis. He gets a couple of hard-earned yards up to the 33, making a 3-yard gain. Hit hard by Aaron Smith and Chris Hoke.
Well, you know, these Steelers are a lot like Bears, and I got to tell you, but that doesn't make them not run to him, though. This one's right at him. It's right behind him. And he's outside, he's pulling. And, you know, last night I talked to him, and he was a little honest. He buries his guy out there, and that's a heck of a nice job of getting outside on the perimeter and taking out the little DB. But he seemed a little nervous last night. You know, he's a young man. He's all the way across the country by himself. And he said, you can tell he's a real family guy, too. His family means a lot to him.
3rd and 7, 3 wide receivers in. Ramsey being pressed, steps up and fires. Incomplete. Broke it up, intended for Lavernius, calls it a late flag. Chris Hope, the safety, was all over Coles, but the late flag came in from the back judge.
Well, Coles is arguing with the back judge.
Pass interference, 28 defense. That's an automatic first down.
Coles got the call.
Yeah, I guess you got to politic for some of these calls. Hope, what it was very simply the hook. It was the hook. Then that's one of the 6 things that constitutes pass interference. He had his right arm draped around the waist of the offensive receiver as his left arm was extended.
16-yard penalty, first down Redskins at the 49. Ramsey gets time, and he throws deep and overthrown, intended for Chris Cooley, and Chris Hope got his hand on the ball. We're ready for another update. JB's got it for us. JB.
All right, Sam, after spotting the Giants a 3-0 lead, Donovan McNabb caps off this drive here. Play action. He decides to keep it. 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. 20th, Sam, of his career. And it's the Eagles on top in the second. 7-3 back to Sam Rosen.
I didn't recognize the Giants with those red jerseys on. Redskins will host the Giants next week on 2nd down and 10. Clinton Portis gets 2 yards into Steelers territory before they push him back.
Well, you know, Sam, on throwback weekend at Thanksgiving, you know, some teams change colors of their uniform, go to throwback jerseys. Well, today, this year, the Steelers and Redskins decided to just play throwback football.
That's right.
We're going to hand it off, and we're going to play defense. You know, that's it. That's what you're going to see for the most part of the day.
Redskins 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. 3 wide receivers in with James Thrash as the 3rd wideout. 5 defensive backs for the Steelers. Ramsey being pressured, and the ball knocked out of his hands is recovered by the Redskins.
James Farrier.
It would have been a live ball and a fumble. It was a fumble on the play, but it's recovered by the Redskins.
Aaron Smith is there, number 91, and James Farrier is in there as well. There was all kinds of Steelers around the quarterback.
We have come to the end of the first quarter. The Steelers on a field goal by Jeff Reed lead the Redskins 3-0. Back in Pittsburgh, Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Chris Myers, glad you're with us. We talk defense, and the coordinators know each other very well. Greg Williams of the Washington Redskins and Dick LeBeau of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, Sam, they were up in Buffalo together. Greg Williams was a head coach up there. And actually, when Williams became a coordinator,
watch out, Randall L on another return, shoved out of bounds by the punter, Tom Tupa. Randall L, who had 3 good returns last week in Cincinnati, is off and running today. Gets it back to the 39-yard line of the Redskins and puts his team in scoring position.
Greg Williams, Dick LeBeau, opposing defensive coordinators, and they're both doing a heck of a job today. Obviously, Sam, only 31 combined total yards thus far, but these 2 guys have a long-time relationship, and I don't even know if LeBeau knows about it, because Greg Williams was told to go study everything LeBeau does when he was down in Tennessee. Jeff Fisher was the head coach. When he got that job, he sent Greg Williams to go study everything LeBeau does.
43-yard punt return by Antoine Randall L. Bettis bounces off the pile and turns nothing into a 5-yard gain. Sean Springs made the stop on the bus. Never put the brakes on, kept on going.
And the tires weren't spinning either. And you would think maybe with a wet track a little bit, you know, it'd be hard to get some traction, and you know, the wheels will spin. But I guess when you play the bus after Thanksgiving, that there's a little extra weight there. So he had all the traction he needed.
Bettis and Kreider in the backfield. Delay to Bettis, takes it outside, gets to the edge, gets down to the 31-yard line. Jerome Bettis has been the Bettis of old.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah, you said it, round and round, and man, has he been going for 3 consecutive weeks. 3 100-yard games as he has been dominant with Deuce Staley out with a hamstring injury. Bettis is moving close to 13,000 yards in his career. You know who had the toughest week last week was Tony Dorsett. He fell from 5th to 7th in the all-time rushing standings as he was passed by both Jerome Bettis and Curtis Martin. Roethlisberger on the move, and he dives. The ball pops out of his hands rolls out of bounds. Sean Taylor took him down. Let's see.
Sam, unless his knee hit first, I think he extended that ball across enough for a first down.
It's very close. You see where the referee, Bernie Kukar, is. He's a little short of the yellow line on your screen, and it looks like they're spotting it about a half a yard short. It's fourth down at the 30-yard line. So a decision here.
Short of the line to gain.
Decision for Bill Cowher. Does he try a long field goal or go for it? He says go for it. Max Starks, rookie lineman, third-round draft pick, number 78, comes out as an eligible.
I was talking to Bill down the field before the game, and I played with Bill in Kansas City. He was our defensive coordinator. He said, you know, I just love games like this. I love to play in games like this.
Bettis pushes the pile for the first down, and a flags down in the backfield. Let's see what this is all about. Two dead, both in the Redskins secondary, where the flags went down. Discussion here is Bernie Kukar.
12 men on the defense.
Okay.
5-yard penalty results in a first down.
I was just going to say, I don't know why those flags would have come from back there for any other reason except for 12 men on the field.
Too many on for Washington.
And they still couldn't stop the bus.
That's right.
I want you to take a look at the point of attack right in here. And watch Jerome Bettis. The Kreider lowers his head. And then Bettis, when he gets into the pile, he moves the whole pile. There's not a hole there. He makes a hole.
First down at the Redskins 25. Kreider chipped. Roethlisberger for Kreider, and that was thrown low and wide. Dan Kreider, a tough fullback, came out of New Hampshire. But it was interesting. He caught 4 passes last week, and Bill Cowher said, I created a monster.
Yeah, well, he has 6 for the season. They don't hand him the ball while he has 1 run. And last week, they threw the ball to him 4 times. And he goes, now I think I've created a monster. Because what Dan Kreider is he's a monster in blocking. And he doesn't want... Bill Cowher doesn't want him to get any kind of glorification out of catching the ball. He wants his glorification from blowing somebody up in the run game.
Roethlisberger just 1 for 5 passing, gets time, drops it off to Bettis. Bettis inside the 10. Battles his way down to the 4-yard line. He pulled Antonio Pierce, the middle linebacker, for a couple of yards. A 20-yard gain.
Well, this is just a little dump pass to the outside. And there's nobody on this side of the field because Antoine Randall ran a deep in pattern, like a deep post across, and that took everybody with him. And there was nobody outside. So on the check down, the bus gets in the open field. And I got to tell you, the bus in the open field, which you don't see too much, looked like he had a little speed to him.
Yes, he did. Max Starks is eligible on the left side. Bettis to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown. Jerome Bettis with his 11th touchdown of the season. That ties his career high, set in 1996. The Steelers open up the lead, and Antoine Randall has set up both scores with his punt returns. Bettis finishes it off with his running and the reception. Deuce Staley greets Jerome Bettis. Boy, they've made a nice tandem. Early in the season, Bettis was the designated touchdown man. Staley would carry for all the yards, and Bettis would finish it off. Reed's extra point is good.
Kendrick Vincent, take a look at him. He's pulling. It's the power road to that side. He gets up in front. He makes the big block on the outside that springs the whole thing open.
Steelers have opened a 10-point lead.
Jerome Bettis, you take a look at those yards there, and 12,888. All of those yards on that drive were all the bus, as you said, set up by Antoine Randall L. And I don't think there's anybody on the all-time rushing list that has had tougher yards than Jerome Bettis.
Pretty good point.
He had to get...
Trying to get outside, and he is dragged down. James Harrison with help from Tyrone Carter. Take down Liddell Betts after a 16-yard return. The Redskins, they got to stop the bus.
Patrick Ramsey and the Redskins having to play catch-up. Ramsey's had to adjust his game as a quarterback from winging it in college at Tulane to then Steve Spurrier. Here he has to check down more often, although in the game plan there are some downfield throws, and Sam Hill need him in this situation.
They go with Liddell Betts at running back. Cooley shifted. Quick out to Lavernius Coles. And stays on his feet and finally is buried after a 2-yard gain. And the Steelers all over it. Don't forget, later today, it's the Sports Illustrated Man of the Year, Sportsman of the Year, right here on Fox. It follows football. Hope you'll stay tuned to that. Great year in sports. Wraps up with the 2004 Sportsman of the Year for Sports Illustrated on Fox. You up for that award? You should be.
For what? Yeah.
2nd and 8. Cooley again in motion. Liddell Betts carrying. It's maybe a yard. Chris Hope, number 76, the nose tackle with good penetration. Larry Foote with the tackle.
Yeah, and I like the way this kid plays, Chris Hope. You know, he's in there, and he's the starter went down, Kendrick Clancy, and he comes in Hoke. And watch the push he gets here on Corey Raymer. Now, see, he takes him back into the backfield, and that has to change the direction of the running back.
Now 3rd and long from the 29. Coles goes in motion. Short drop. Ramsey fires, and it's incomplete. Gardner had his hands on it, but it popped loose. Deshae Townsend covering on the play. And the Redskins offense continues to struggle. For the Redskins, they just don't get any deep plays. 20-plus yard plays this season. You can see Lavernius Coles ranked 55th. Rod Gardner ranked 66th. 4th punt of the game for Tom Tupa. Antoine Randall L from the 25. Spinning. Wrapped up by Mike Sellers. Or rather, Liddell Betts. Liddell Betts was down first, made the tackle. 54-yard punt. This time, no return. Doubleheader week on Fox next week. Early games, Atlanta against Tampa Bay, Arizona and Detroit, Vikings and Bears. Late game, Packers and Eagles, Giants and Redskins. Bill and I will be there for that one. All starts with the best pregame show there is at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And it's all presented in Fox Sports High Definition. Steelers go from the 25. Roethlisberger 2 for 6, 47 yards thus far. One big connection with Bettis. Good play fake. Roethlisberger up top, deep for Hines Ward, and it's broken up. Double coverage. Sean Springs and Sean Taylor combine on the coverage of Hines Ward.
This was great play fake. Great play action. Watch him extend the ball, tuck his head, and then wait for Hines Ward to get downfield. Now, I thought this play was a go all the way. I thought this was completion. And Sean Springs sticks his hand out on Hines Ward as he's just getting by him. He's just about to pull by him, and that's a veteran play. But you got to be careful when you do that. You got to be real careful, because that flag could have come out again.
Ward in motion. Roethlisberger on 2nd down for Ward. That's off his hands and incomplete. Red Smoot covering on that side of the field. Hines Ward should have had that. That'll bring up a 3rd and long as Bill Cowher looks up. It's interesting talking with him yesterday and just getting the feeling that he's enjoying the wins. He's learned how to enjoy the wins. He's such an intense man. He said the losses hurt so much you have to enjoy the wins. And he's taking the time to do that. 4 wide receivers. Here comes a late blitz from Sean Taylor. Swinging it out to Ron Haynes with a blocker. Haynes up to the 45. Antonio Pierce makes the tackle. But how about that sidearm throw by Ben Roethlisberger?
Well, the reason it had to be a sidearm throw is because the blitz came. And there's no better play to face a blitz than if you can pull the screen off to the side it's coming to. And that's exactly what happens. Here comes Taylor and company, and he had to sling it sideways past Taylor to get it out to the flat for 21 yards on pickup on the screen. I mean, that's as good as you can get when you nail it like that.
First down at the 45-yard line. Kreider shifts. Bettis carries. Not much there. Maybe a yard. Pick up Antonio Pierce, the middle linebacker, making the stop. He leads the Redskins in tackles. The bus. When he starts rolling, tough to stop him. Little pass. He picked up extra yardage. And then at the goal line, he carries it home.
That end zone he went into too. There's white stripes there. They're bus parking spots.
Okay. Bus trying to go outside. Does. Nice pickup into Redskins territory to the 48-yard line. Lamar Marshall makes the tackle. Chris Myers with more on the bus.
Yeah, Sam, I talked to him in pregame warm-ups when some players were frowning about the cold, damp weather. He was all smiles. He told me, I'm a mutter. This is my kind of game. This is a 30-carry game for me. He did say you have to earn every yard against the Redskin defense, and as Bill pointed out, and Bettis told me before the game, I've been earning tough yards my entire career.
Yeah, that's what Bill was saying, and that's what's going to get him into the Hall of Fame. He's had a terrific career.
That's what makes him unbelievable to me, and I think anybody else in the NFL world that knows that a guy like that can go that long taking that many hits.
4 wide receivers in. Roethlisberger in trouble. Moves and connects with Sean Morey. His first catch of the season. The 4th wide receiver, Sean Morey, with a grab. Took a big hit from Sean Taylor.
You know, moving in the pocket and being able to run and things like that, it's not always taking off downfield. Look, it's just a little shuffle here, a little shuffle there, a little shuffle. Just slide around the pocket. It's like an old country song, Sam. Just a little two-step. Now you just two-step here, two-step back, shift it up. That's what Tom Brady does as well. And he has a knack for that.
Max Starks is in as an eligible tight end right side. Big 3rd-round draft pick. He's 337. Ron Haynes carries to the 37-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Picked up 3 on the play.
And I was talking about the things I've noticed with him as a player. He's got that toughness of Brett Favre, and he does. He'll sit there just like he did on the screen and throw it. And he's got the size of a Culpepper and Peyton Manning. He's 6'5½", right? So are they. And he's got the mobility of McNabb when he needs to. Surprisingly, you don't think big quarterbacks can move. This guy can move.
He told us his idol was Joe Montana, but he patterns his game after Brett Favre and John Elway. Mobility, athleticism, and grit.
Nice.
34-yard line for Ron Haynes.
He's got the number for it, too.
Yes, sir. The Elway number. Flag on the play, a late flag. Pittsburgh Steelers are #1 in the NFL in time of possession, and already they've had the ball for about 14.5 minutes to 8.5 for Washington.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 36 for the defense. That's 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Sean Taylor is a hard hitter, tends to hit high. Gets called for the personal foul. He can't believe it as he looks at the replay. Can't understand the call. But he gets called for the personal foul. Penalties really hurt the Redskins last week in the game against the Eagles, where they were close into the second half. In the 4th quarter, they were down 14-6.
Sam, when you play a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers offense and you're a defense, you have to think physical. You have to think hitting. And you psych yourself up to the point that everything you do on the field is affected by it.
2 tight ends in. Bettis carries straight ahead. And maybe gets a yard. And no gain on the play at the 19-yard line. Bring up a 2nd and 10.
Watch at the end here. You're pumped up. Take a look. See that right there? That shot, that little bone that push them when it's unnecessary. But the mentality to play a team that runs at you hard, and they're going to come after you. They're going to pound you. So it's not a game about out-scheming. It becomes a game about out-hitting. And if you're a defensive player, you're always amped up to hit somebody.
10th play of the drive for the Steelers. 3 wide receivers in. Off the play fake, they bury him. 3rd sack. And 2nd of the game for Marcus Washington. Earlier, he got credit for the sack when he and Cornelius Griffin took down Roethlisberger, so it's 2 sacks for Marcus Washington.
Well, when you get in obvious passing situations, okay, and this is to them, they're going to come with a blitz. The Washington Redskins blitz more on passing situations than any other team in the football, in the NFL, any other team. If they know it's going to be a pass situation, and they got nickel defense on the field, they're going to blitz you.
3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Roethlisberger gets time, looks, throws, and finds his man at the original line of scrimmage. Antoine Randall actually gets forward progress to the 17-yard line. And it'll be 4th down, and the field goal kicking unit comes on. An 11-play drive for the Steelers, finally stopped by Joe Gibbs' defense.
Well, Roethlisberger just basically gave them the 3 points. Because if they had to take that sack, or if they didn't complete that pass, in the conditions it is today, this is an iffy field goal. Roethlisberger moved around enough again that he created a passing lane and completed his pass.
Jeff Reed for a 36-yard attempt. It's on the way, and it's good. Jeff Reed, 2 for 2. Ben Roethlisberger congratulating everyone. The man known as the Chief, Art Rooney, would be happy with the way things are going. James Thrash, one of the outstanding special teams players in the league. Good coverage man, good return man. Talked with us last night about attitude. And taken down as he crosses the 20-yard line. Tyrone Carter, number 23, there to take him down.
Well, with Dick LeBeau back in Pittsburgh, Blitzburg is back. And do they come at you all different kind of ways? They'll overload to one side. They'll bring a safety, as I said before. They'll do cross dogs in the middle. And there's always one more than you have to block on that side. And that's what the 34 defense allows you to do.
Ramsey throwing on 1st down low, and it's incomplete. Intended for Chris Cooley.
And you know, everyone talks about New England. Well, Pittsburgh, they're the same thing. Because with the peak personnel, the people you have, the linebacking position and the safety position, they're almost all interchangeable. They can all rush. They can all drop in coverage. They have the speed to do that. And they can blitz. And those things are all tough to do. But when you have those people, as you have in a Joey Porter, Larry Foote, a James Farrier, Craig Higgins, Troy Polamalu.
There's bad news. Lavernius Coles limped off the field for Washington, replaced by Taylor Jacobs. On 2nd down, Ramsey for Rod Gardner, and he completes it up to the 30-yard line.
How about Washington and their injuries? Now I know you're going to have injuries with every single team. And normally the philosophy at least should be the next guy steps up. But boy, they have an all-pro team on the injury list.
That pickup was enough for a 1st down. First catch for Rod Gardner in the game. Prior to that catch, the Redskins had a total of 7 yards total on offense. It's now up to 18 with the 11-yard pickup. Clinton Portis and Chris Cooley in the backfield.
So they had 7 and got 11.
That's it. They're hoping it'll bring them locked. Pressure on Ramsey. Up top for Gardner, through his hands.
Boy, that was there.
Right?
Yeah.
Even when they do something right, they find a way to mess it up offensively.
Absolutely. They had a completion. They get an injury. They had a long ball early in the 4th quarter. They had an overthrow. And then the drop balls as well. And when we went through that little piece, what's wrong with the offense? All those things were there. Drop ball. You got to make those catches. Hey,
they took their shot downfield. Gardner was there. Couldn't hold on.
Is it a hard catch? You better believe it is. Is what you're expected to do? Yes, it is.
Three wide receivers, 6 defensive backs for the Steelers. Short drop, Chris Cooley on the catch. Deshae Townsend on the tackle, short of the first down line. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line.
26, 3rd down and 4 at the Washington 38.
Long way to come back against a tough defense. Redskins with a 3rd down. Have to get to the just across the 41 for a first. Liddell Betts in the backfield. Darnarian McCants is positioned by Ramsey. Ramsey being rushed. Finds his man, completing it to Liddell Betts out of the backfield. Good pickup and effort by Liddell Betts to the Steelers' 42-yard line. Russell Stuvance made the tackle. Good play by Betts coming out of the backfield. A pickup of 20. The Redskins in Steelers territory. They need something before halftime. They're down 13-0 because the bus has been running. The motor's been running well. Lavernius Coles is back on for the Washington Redskins. That's very good news for them. They need him. This is the longest drive of the first half for the Washington Redskins. And you see the numbers, having put up just 7 yards on the previous 4, 37 yards on this drive. Redskins at the Steelers' 42, each team with the full complement of timeouts. Cooley in motion.
Here comes blitz on the outside.
Good fake by Ramsey. He's got time. They picked it up well. Pass is dropped. Lavernius Coles with Chris Hope all over him. And yet another drop, Bill. What do you think?
Well, a couple things. One, I thought that he might have got there a little bit early. I thought it was pass interference.
Okay, on Hope.
But two, Washington Redskins did a nice job of picking up. See, he had contact before the ball got there. Take a look from the other side. Watch the contact. Contact, ball. He played it through the back. I think that should have been a flag. I think they got away with one. But nice job of picking up the blitz and protecting the quarterback to give him time to make that throw.
There's 2nd and 10. Clinton Portis in the backfield. Here comes the rush. Joey Porter's got him. Just whips him around. 3rd sack of the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who lead the NFL. They now have 34.
Well, take a look. Here's Joey Porter on the outside, and here's Cooley. And Cooley's looking inside at the football because of the crowd noise. That's what that's for. So then he misses the block off the top. He didn't get a piece of him. Didn't get anything at all when he saw Joey Porter walk up on him. And Porter, that's the way you like to get to the quarterback, free.
6th sack of the season for Joey Porter. Redskins back at their own 49. Ramsey steps up. Pass is complete to Lavernius Coles at the 36-yard line. It's short of a first down by 3 yards. And it'll bring up a 4th down. And the Redskins.
What do you do here?
Will have to make a decision. I'd say go for it.
What the heck? You know, you really don't.
Field goal would be about 54, Bill.
Yeah, and also the way the wind's been today, right directly into the wind. But I mean, what the heck, you know? If you got to play catch-up, no better place than Heinz Field, right?
Steelers called timeout. Patrick Ramsey went over to the Redskins sideline to talk to Joe Gibbs and set up the play on a 4th and 3. Patrick Ramsey in his 3rd year in the NFL says now it's time for him to show the improvement. He said it took him time to pick up this offense. He had a bad preseason, but he thinks he's ready to take over as the #1 man. 3 wide receivers in on 4th and 3. Short drop. Pass is knocked down.
Drop ball.
Intended for James Thrash. Willie Williams was there. I don't know if he got a piece.
No. That was clean. That ball was catchable. And this is another drop ball. The Steelers blitz, and there's pressure coming down on Ramsey. And he stands in the pocket, and he makes a heck of a throw. And it's in his hands, and he should have caught it, and he dropped the ball, and he's looking for a flag. That was outstanding coverage all the way around. It was a great throw by Ramsey in the face of some good pressure coming at him. And the ball was there. But the problem is that Thrash has to play. All the receivers are nicked up a little bit, and he's trying to get in the mix there at the H position.
Steelers from the 36 with 39 seconds to go in the half. Bettis. The Redskins are there. There's no gain on the play. Don't forget, the boys are standing by in the studio with the Visa halftime report. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy get you updated on all the games around the NFL with scores and highlights. And, of course, you check out the Fox Sports ticker. Tell you what all the players are doing.
You know, I've
heard the league.
I've heard in Pittsburgh that they've named sandwiches after Roethlisberger.
Yes, they have. Have you had one yet?
I haven't, and I was wondering if we're getting those for halftime.
Maybe. We'll check it out. Stay right here.
Is that what they serve here?
The order is in. Roethlisberger just doing the job, managing the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And doing it quite well. And what Washington's trying to do, Sam, is force him to win the game for them. And thus far, when he's been forced to pass and make passes, he's done it.
Couple of stars, Jerome Bettis, Antoine Randall, and the Steelers defense. 13-0 at halftime.
The Visa Halftime Report is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
As we welcome you to the Visa Halftime, let's get you caught up on the action taking place in the first half in the NFC.
All right, Jerome Bettis, Varen Haynes getting that groove on before the game.
Is that what
but the hippest cat of them all is this Indiana flash right here. Randall L. takes his punt, JB.
What's his first name?
Randall L.
Antoine, okay.
Yeah, takes her down there. 60-yard punt return, led to a field goal. 3-0 Steelers. Then out of the eye, Bettis takes it in, 4 yards out. 11th touchdown rushing on the year. 13-0 Steelers over Washington. New York Giants, Eli Manning with his second start. Up, 50-yard bomb down to the right sideline to the rookie Jamar Taylor. Excellent throw, led to a field goal. Giants up by 3. But McNabb in the second quarter rolls right, play action, bootleg actually. Linebackers drop deep, you run. That's what he did. Touchdown, 4-yard version. Now, 7-3. It is Eagles over the Giants. Manning again looking deep. Over the middle this time to Jeremy Shockey, the tight end for 26 yards. He imitates T.O. No one on that team can do anything on their own. Everybody's got a copycat version. Then Eli down to the goal line. Lobs it up this time for Shockley, but McHale there, interception, 7-6. Eagles over the Giants at the half. Jake Delhomme, the crawfish-eating Cajun, firing out in the left flat. Finds this man, Kerry Colbert, rookie out of USC, 24-yard touchdown reception, 7-0 Carolina. Martin Gramatica, remember last year, 1 blocked extra point, 2 blocked field goals in that game at home, cost him the ball game. Second miss of the day. This one blocked, his fault, 7-0 Carolina. And then Greasy, shovel past him, Michael Pittman, Howie, 6-yard version. We're tied at the half now, 7-all, Carolina, Tampa Bay.
All right, so Terry's going to take a little break, so we'll take it to the Jaguars taking a little bit of a lead there. Chargers 14-all against the Chiefs. LaDainian Tomlinson, 8th consecutive game with a touchdown in that contest. Boy, does it make a world of difference with Steve McNair back there. 21-10, McNair back at the helm for the Titans despite being bruised. And the Bengals 24-13 over the Browns. The Bengals. Cleveland is winless on the road this season. Big boy. Washington, a total of 50 total yards in the first half. Steelers, awesome.
Yeah, 9 yards rushing, and no surprise. I mean, the Steelers have 100 yards total offense. I mean, the big difference is, as Terry showed you in the highlights, the big play on special teams, Antoine Randall, and Roethlisberger's ability to make more plays. Ramsey coming into this game over the last 2 years, the lowest quarterback rating in the NFL versus, guess what? The blitz. Right. And these are the top 2 blitzing teams in football. I think Roethlisberger's just more prepared to make more plays.
The other quarterback that's really playing well is the Tampa quarterback, rejuvenated Brian Greasy, and I think they're in a playoff run. They're starting to come on strong. Greasy's starting to play well. The rookie receiver, Michael Clayton, he'll break all the rookie records there for the Bucs. On top of that, the defense is starting to come on strong again, holding Carolina to 6 first downs in the first half.
But what about their kicker, Gramatica? I mean, Carolina owns this guy, and they're in his head, Jimmy. Two missed today, 1 blocked and 1 missed.
Jimmy would cut him. Tampa Bay's offense.
He would have already been cut.
Tampa Bay's offense over the last 4 weeks has averaged 25 points a game. They've had to put 12 players on IR this year. McFarland, the big defensive
You would cut him even though one was the holder's fault?
Oh, yeah, it's a kicker's fault. Always a kicker's fault.
Always a kicker's fault.
Always a kicker's fault.
Boy, you know, Jimmy, he's a bottom-line guy.
What?
Second half continues right after this.
Pittsburgh Steelers are after their first 9-game winning streak since 1976. They're halfway there. It's been a good first half, and the defense has done the job. They've held the Redskins to just 50 yards. Their blitzes have been effective. They've gotten to Patrick Ramsey 3 times. Larry Foote the first time, Mark Higgins the second time, and the third time, it was Joey Porter. We'll be back to Pittsburgh right after these messages.
With Bill Cowher, you get ready for the third quarter. You said this was Steeler weather, Steeler football in the first half?
Yeah, it is. But we still have 30 minutes to go. But, you know, we're doing some good things. It's a tough defense. We haven't been able to put any scores in there. We've played well defensively, but we got 30 minutes to go. Yeah,
they came up with 3 sacks on Ben Roethlisberger. What offensively would you change in the second half?
Oh, nothing. I mean, we just got to keep pounding, play smart. We got to try to get the run. You know, it's going to be a grind and take our shots when we get a chance. But, you know, I think, again, right now we got to continue to go control the ball, play smart in defense, and try to come away with a win here.
All right, thanks, Bill. Good luck. All right, Sam?
Thanks, Chris. You know, Bill, old-time Steeler football. You hear Bill Cowher say, keep pounding, play the strong defense, and that's what they did in the first half.
You know, they've had bits and pieces of what I think Bill Cowher actually wants to get to through over his 13-year span as being a head coach. But I think this year, it really exemplifies both pieces coming together. Offense, defense, and, you know, look at over the last 4 weeks. Look at the numbers. 21 points on offense. They're only giving up 12. 201 rushing yards to 40. 50% on third down to 14% by their opponents. And 40 minutes time of possession. Now, look at today at halftime. The time of possession. Look who has all the yards. Look who's stuffing the run. Look who, it's the same formula. And it's tougher for them. They're not having the dominance against Washington as they did their other opponents this year. But they're having enough to put points on the board. And this guy is amazing to me.
Remember his record, 86-1-1 in games in which his team has had a lead of at least 11 points. They have a 13-point lead as we start the second half with Jeff Reed kicking off. Gets hit at the 25 and thrown down hard. Ike Taylor, number 24, with the stop.
Look at the Steelers' defense as they take the field. 1.8 yards per carry in the first half. 1 for 6, third down. 3 sacks already, a total of 50 yards. I mean, this might upset some people, but numbers like that and the things they've been doing this year against opponents, that's better than the steel curtain.
That's pretty darn good when you say that. From the 25, Clinton Portis with a couple of yards on the play. They just haven't been able to run the ball very well. Just 9 rushing yards in the first half. Chris, what's going on?
Well, I talked to Joe Gibbs at the half. He politely approached the official, thinking there was a pass interference, and said, hey, that could be the difference in the game, but told his team the penalties are a problem and dropped balls. He likes the way his offense has had some opportunities. They haven't made the plays. He thinks they can in the second half, and obviously they'll be going downfield. He's very satisfied with his defense so far. Sam?
Thanks, Chris. On 2nd and 9, on Gardner in motion. Ramsey out to Chris Cooley. And he is wrapped up and thrown down by Chris Hope.
And if you can't run the football, Sam, and you're averaging 1.8 yards per carry, and then you come back and you try to do play action off of it, what's the sense of doing play action if nobody's going to respect your run? Now, on the other side of it, when Pittsburgh runs downhill and then they do play action, you have safeties, you have linebackers, you have everybody coming running into the line of scrimmage with a head of steam, and all of a sudden the quarterback pops up with the ball in his hand and everyone says, uh-oh, and it's a spin around and run back out. Well, the Steelers, you know, they're not coming up in there to respect the play action.
3rd and long. Ramsey straight back in as he throws. It falls incomplete. Big hit on the play by James Farrier. You know, what a season Farrier's having.
Oh, it's been unbelievable. But he got the hit on there. Watch the ball come out. You know, if this was any other time of year in Pittsburgh right here, the ball's flopping, people would have been pulling out guns and shooting that thing. They would have thought it was a duck. But all the hunters, see, are up at camp right now watching this. Yeah, because it opens tomorrow. Buck season opens tomorrow.
Tupa with a punt. And he stopped by the wind, fell at the 40-yard line, took a Steelers bounce, and then it is touchdown. It's hunting season, huh, Bill?
Oh, you better believe it. They love to get out there and get after it.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39.
Sports Illustrated names it Sportsman of the Year today, right here on Fox. That's following football. Always a great honor. And it'll be right here on Fox. Steelers first possession of the second half from their own 43. 2-minute in motion. Jerome Bettis with power up to the 48-yard line. Picked up 5. Marcus Washington on the stop. Jerome Bettis, 15 carries, 30 yards. He's having a great time.
He's laughing. There's nothing more demoralizing than that. And he's not doing it in a selfish way. I mean, he's just happy. To him, he loves the contact. He loves the collision. He loves running into people. Look at him.
Redskins have Brandon Noble, number 75, and the rookie Ryan Biscotti on the defensive line. 2 tight ends in for Pittsburgh. Here comes Bettis. Powers his way up to midfield. Big collision. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3. Antonio Pierce, the middle linebacker, and Brandon Barnes combined on the stop.
Hey, and Ryan Clark is in the mix, too. And Ryan Clark is Washington Redskins' strong safety. And he's listed as 200 pounds, but this guy was a cornerback all his life, and they just made him a strong safety because of all the injuries they've had there. Matt Bowen got hurt, Andre Locke got hurt, and so Ryan Clark, they had to move him there, and he's actually a corner. There's no way he weighs 200.
He almost got cut at training camp.
Well, no. He thought he got cut.
On 3rd down, everybody out the blitz from Washington, and Roethlisberger gets away. And he completes it for a first down to the 40-yard line. To Hines Ward. Hines Ward with his first catch of the game, and that's 99 consecutive games for Hines Ward with a reception.
He's laughing now. Do you know why? Because he should have been sacked. He is looking for a place to fall right here. He's like, I'm going to go down. And then he turns around and sees nobody grabbed him and an opening, and he took off running.
His athleticism, Bill, is such that he sees the field when he's on the move. When he's on the run, he sees the entire field.
He actually likes throwing the ball on the run better than throwing it out of the pocket.
First down, Steelers at the 40. Jerome Bettis spins down for a couple of yards. And Bill Cowher was telling us about the game plan. He said, you know what? We'll have to take these 2-yard runs and 3-yard runs, but keep pounding in the hope that they'll wear down the Redskins by the 4th quarter.
And it may start a little sooner because, you know, it's going to take a toll on you. And when it takes a toll on you is when you can come up and match the intensity. Remember the first couple plays? Oh, they were jacked up. They were out there watching the Redskins, and they were all over the line of scrimmage, and they just dominated. But how long can you keep that intensity up is the question.
Bettis
right there.
That's the opening.
That's what I'm telling you.
Picks up 5 on the play, down to the 33-yard line. Antonio Pierce on the stop.
When you come running out of the tunnel, and I've played against teams like this before. Well, the old Giants were like that, Sam. You know, I've played against those teams. When you come running out of the tunnel as a defender, you're like, yeah, I want a piece of that bus. And you're jacked up and you're jumping up and down, and you know, after bam, you go bam, and you keep on hitting it, and you feel, yeah. And then all of a sudden, you're like, well, I didn't want that many pieces of the bus.
4 wide receivers. Ron Haynes shifts back into the backfield with Roethlisberger on 3rd and 3. Pressure, and he was hit as he threw. Good pressure. The blitz from Sean Taylor, the rookie linebacker out of Miami. Good pressure and the hit.
Roethlisberger today has bought his receivers time because the run has been shut down early on. And then they got after him with the blitz. And when they got to the pocket, they weren't able to wrap up Roethlisberger. He got out. He got out of the pocket every time, almost every time they've come and got into his space, he has gotten away and extended the play and made a completion.
22-year-old Ben Roethlisberger came out after his junior year at Miami of Ohio. Said after the bowl game he played in last year, had a terrific year at Miami of Ohio, told his coach that was it. He was ready to turn pro, and he did. Third quarterback drafted. Penalty against the Steelers. Third quarterback drafted, number 11 overall, and trying to prove that he should be number 1, or should have been. And in fact, Joe Gibbs was telling us last night they had Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger nose to nose as far as who was number 1. Chris Gardocki with a punt way up in the air, inside the 10, and the Steelers down it. First man down was Chidi Iwoma, who's just back from an injury. Second man was Ike Taylor. Ball spotted, and now there's a flag on the play. Ball was spotted inside the 5. We'll check out the flag. Bernie Kukar gathers his officials. See what they have. See the scores coming in. Wild one in Cincinnati between the Bengals and the Browns.
Sam, you know that commercial about the kids that pile in to go on an outdoor adventure? You know, they all pile in a truck and they're driving. Sure. Yeah, Class 5 Rapids, yeah, right? That's what it's like when you play defense against the bus.
Conduct. Number 29 of the kicking team threw the ball at the player. That's 15 yards. First down.
So the Redskins will get a break. Chidi Iwoma with the unsportsmanlike conduct play, picked up the ball, threw it at one of the Redskins, cost the Steelers 15.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Ben Roethlisberger isn't the only rookie having a good year for the Steelers. Quarterbacks coach Mark Whipple, after 16 years as a college coach, his first year in the NFL, and doing a good job with Roethlisberger. In fact, he says because they're both new to the league, covering the questions and the basics they've learned together, he thinks it's made it easier for Roethlisberger. Whipple said he learned from George Allen and Roman Gabriel when he was in the USFL. Whipple called Roethlisberger a good cold weather quarterback. In fact, he's using gloves on both hands for the first time. Sam?
Well, born in Ohio, he's played in some cold weather. Redskins from the 21. Ramsey still has it off the play fake. Up top and deep for Darnarian McCansey. Made the adjustment, but it fell incomplete. Chris Hope was covering along with Deshae Townsend. They've taken their shots downfield, but they haven't clicked, Bill.
Well, when you don't have a run game, Sam, and I know people get tired of hearing that when you talk about football. Run game, stop the run. We have to run the football. But that's what makes everything else open up. And so when you don't have a run game, the coverage is so much tighter on those deep shots. If you have a run game, there's going to be some separation, and that's when it makes it look easy.
The Redskins trying to come from behind are putting it up. Ramsey looking, finds Cooley. Big hit by James Farrier. Fourth catch of the game for Chris Cooley. It's enough for a first down, but he paid a price.
James Farrier is just unbelievable. You know why, Sam? Because he signed the big contract. The big one, you know, which all the players want. And after he signed the big contract, he's having a career year. That in all of sports is very rare.
On first down, Ramsey checking off. Liddell Betts up to the 37-yard line. You talked about James Farrier in his 8th year out of Virginia.
Well, this guy this year, you could, as our producer says, you could drop the F on his last name and put a W in there because he's been a warrior. He has been all over the field. Sacking, running, the tackles, the 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, and a touchdown. Now there's one thing about making plays, but big plays like that, wow.
Ramsey connects. Larry Foote with a tackle on Lavernius Coles up to the 42. 1 yard short of the first down line. You think about top defensive players in the league. John Abraham of the Jets, James Farrior, the man we talked about, Steve Foley, San Diego Chargers, Ed Reed of the Baltimore Ravens, Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots, all top candidates. They're having great years.
I'd have a tough time between Vrabel and Farrior, but it might have to go to Farrior because of those stats I just read off.
On 3rd and 1, Liddell Betts finds the opening, turns it into a big gainer. Troy Polamalu takes him out, but a great run by Liddell Betts on a 3rd and 1. He gets down to the Steelers' 32-yard line, a pickup of 26 on the run by Liddell Betts.
1st and 10, Washington ball.
Well, I want you to take a look here. They're going to run over the rookie. How about this? They get the down block, and then here's the power O. But this thing opens up. Now, when it does open up, there was a little move there by Betts that was really sprung the thing. It really did. And they got over-aggressive, the Steelers did, in coming downhill inside.
And they stop the play. Flags fly, and false start against the Washington Redskins. False start killed them last week.
66 offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
1 step forward, 1 step back. 1 step forward, 1 step back. And that's the problem. The penalties, the drop balls, the things, all those things. And that comes with timing, and that comes with this team coming together. Ray Brown is 41 years old. It is unbelievable that he's playing. But when you have a 41-year-old playing offensive guard, you're probably not going to be a good running team.
On 1st and 15, Ramsey still with it. Throws on the run and completes it. Lavernius Coles with a tough catch in traffic down at the 24-yard line. Nice play by Ramsey. Kept the play alive with some good movement in the pocket.
You got it, and that's the same thing you're saying. And Ramsey shuffling around here a little bit. Take a look at Wilson, too. He does a nice job of staying with Higgins. Chases him over the top, and that's a good job. That's a win. See, if you push the rusher over the top of the quarterback, that's a plus.
On 2nd and 1, Liddell Betts spinning, and he's got enough for the first down. Patrick Ramsey, 12 for 21, 95 yards in the game. There have been no turnovers for either team.
Take a look at Betts has had a little wiggle on these last couple runs. Here he goes in and he spins around and keeps it going. On the counter tray and the power, he had a little wiggle and a move, a lot like the bus does.
3rd-year man out of Iowa stays in the game. Everybody out. Ramsey to Coles inside the 5 and down to the 3-yard line. Nice catch by Lavernius Coles. Troy Polamalu on the coverage.
Well, what they did here is they know what they're going to get. So you have 2 receivers on one side and 2 receivers on the other side, and it really puts the pressure on the safety who's going to be in the middle field. 2 guys are going to go like this. He's going to go here, and right here. Now, what's the safety to do? If he rolls over to this side too much, he's one-on-one on the post, and that's what they took advantage of.
2 tight ends in, Sellers and Betts in the backfield. Cooley motions. Ramsey's got it, and he throws. Touchdown! No, he dropped it as he hit the ground. Deshae Townsend with the hit. The Redskins thought they had it. Kozlowski dropped it when he hit the ground.
You might want to take a look at that. Deshae Townsend actually recovered and helped out on this because the ball should have actually been thrown sooner. He was open for a long time. Never had control. Never had control of the football. Good call.
Coles and Gardner, the wide receivers. Cooley shifts. Ramsey being rushed. Throwing. Whoa, that was a dangerous pass. Flag on the play. Flag down, and intended for Lavernius Coles. Deshae Townsend was there, and looks like he's going to get called for pass interference.
Well, Patrick Ramsey. At least Patrick Ramsey had a crash course in getting hit last year. And he needed.
Pass interference, 26 defense. At the 1-yard line, automatic, first down.
Well, Townsend's trying to plead his case. When did the hold? Must have occurred someplace else. Where did the hold occur? Nah.
Can't figure that one, but it's 1st and goal, Redskins.
That's making up for what happened in the first half.
2 tight ends in. Betts straight ahead. And he is forced back.
Oh, my goodness.
Diving play over the top by Troy Polamalu.
Now, the Redskins were down here 2 weeks ago as well and weren't able to get into the end zone.
Well, right now, they've had only 2 rushing touchdowns this season. And they've got to come up with something. 2nd and goal at the 1. 2 tight ends. Wing back to the right is Chris Cooley. Betts again tripped up.
My gosh.
They went underneath. Aaron Smith went underneath and tripped up Liddell Betts. What a play.
There is nobody outside. There's no receiver, Sam. There's not even a threat.
Yep.
Washington is challenging them, and Pittsburgh, I don't know if you want to challenge them.
Bill Cowher says he's got 3 guys playing at Pro Bowl level. Aaron Smith, Troy Polamalu, and James Farrier.
Okay, now you're going to get the same thing here. You're going to stack the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden, you're going to have a fake handoff and a boot one way or the other.
3rd and goal from the 2. There's the fake. There's the throw. Over the head of Gronkowski.
Overthrown, and he was wide open.
4th and goal. And the Redskins look like they're going to go for it.
And then, well, you have to because you're down, and you're down there. But you had your opportunity. You pounded twice and attacked the center. Now you brought the 3rd down, you used the bootleg. The bootleg is what fakes you. You've already faked them. So you better come up with a shotgun play and spread them out because you're not going to run it down their throat.
4th and goal from the 2. 13th play of the drive. Timeout. Patrick Ramsey will go to the sideline to talk with head coach Joe Gibbs as they try to come up with a touchdown play. Here come the Redskins on 4th and 2. Darnarian McCants is in. Wide
Listen to this.
left. Cooley a wing back to the left. Cooley motions. Ramsey throws. Touchdown. Chris Cooley out of the backfield. And the Redskins come up with a play to finish off a 79-yard drive that puts them right back in it.
Well, they had to do it, too, and that was an outstanding call by Joe Gibbs. He knew, and look, I tried to set up the bootleg and trick him, and I missed it. We missed our chance to score. So to gamble and go for it on 4th down, he spread him out and went with the pass, and that's exactly what you had to do because you weren't going to fool anybody again, and you weren't going to be able to break that run.
Extra point by John Hall is good. Chris Cooley, the man in the end zone, waiting for the pass from Patrick Ramsey.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By the United States Army, an army of one. By Wendy's Wild Mountain Chicken and Bacon Cheeseburger, it's better here. And by Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
Steelers defense, good goal line stand for 3 plays, Bill.
Outstanding. Yeah, there was the run, and then there's a run again right down the middle. And then on their big shot they were going to take was the bootleg, play action over the top. Ramsey missed it, so they had to come back in a pass formation and find a way to plug it in. Nice job of the Steelers for 3 plays, but a nice job of the Redskins for going for it. Taking a chance. And what the heck else are you going to do when you're down and you can't move the ball on offense?
4th touchdown reception for Chris Cooley. 3rd touchdown pass thrown by Ramsey this season. The kickoff by Hall is taken at the 6-yard line by Ike Taylor. And he returns it up across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Redskins are back in it. It's a good one.
Patrick Ramsey, who grew up in northern Louisiana, said his memory of the Steelers was all about Terry Bradshaw and the Super Bowl success, but his own view was that the Steelers were a hard-nosed defense. He said they hit you in the mouth and you have to hit back. That's the kind of Steeler team he said he would see today. Ramsey and the Redskins have hit back. Sam?
Thanks, Chris. Steelers come out 2 tight ends. Ben Roethlisberger 7 for 14 for 99 yards. Throws on first down. No, being chased. Pulls it down, runs out of bounds at the 29-yard line. He picks up a couple. Let's check out what's happening in Carolina. JB's got the update.
Sam and Bill, I know you know what kind of athlete Julius Peppers is. Number 90, defensive lineman with the kick here. Big fella takes it 46 yards. Hey, Bill, he ran down Michael Pittman earlier, a 68-yard run down to save a touchdown. Blocked the field goal in a number of hurries. 14-7 Carolina. Awesome. Back to Sam and Bill.
Nice job. I thought it was JB running down the field like that.
Speed nowadays, size amazing. Well, Roethlisberger, for example, you know, heck, he's almost Pepper's size.
You're right.
He's up around 250. Peppers is probably 265. And the speed in which these big guys can run now.
A couple of yards on the carry by Jerome Bettis. And now the Steelers will bring in 4 wide receivers on a 3rd and 5. Ron Haynes in the backfield. This is an important play here, I think, for the Redskins. They've got something going. You saw the offense was really pumped, led by Patrick Ramsey. They get a stop here. It could be very interesting.
Led by Betts, too, on that big 3rd down conversion.
Out of the shotgun. Roethlisberger throws too low, wide of Hines Ward. 3 and out for the Steelers. So late in the 3rd quarter, it's the Washington Redskins who are starting to come on. Some concern, legitimate concern on the part of Bill Cowher. 4th punt of the game for Chris Gardocki. James Thrash deep for Washington. Gardocki gets it away. It's a good one. It's flying back. Thrash backpedals to the 17. Picks up a block. And then he's spun down at the 25-yard line. James Harrison again leading the way. 50-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Patrick Ramsey under Steve Spurrier last year.
You know, some might think it would have been the perfect fit because of the wide-open attack. But in the NFL, the wide-open attack isn't going to work because somebody has to sit in and pick up the blitz. And Patrick Ramsey was just getting hammered. I mean, just drilled. Every time he went back for a pass, he was getting knocked around. There were no hot route adjustments and any of their stuff. They didn't keep 8 men in to block. And he now, under Gibbs, they're protecting him.
Right.
There's the sack numbers right there.
From the 25, Clinton Portis back in. Tries to go outside, turns it upfield, and it's out of bounds up at the 32-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the play. And Liddell Betts comes in for Clinton Portis.
And I really think that's the change maybe they've made at the halftime. Is to come back and they need a little bit of more oomph, as they say, in their running game. And that little oomph is going to be Betts and not Portis and not the speed. Not someone who's looking to bounce it and get to the outside, but somebody that wants contact and run at you. The Steelers are going to hit you. Betts will hit you back.
A little change of pace. That was Portis on first down. Here's Betts on second down. Trying to find the hole. He scrambles up to the 34-yard line. He's a yard short of the first down line. We'll go down to the sidelines to Chris Myers. Chris, what's happening?
Yeah, Sam, on the Redskins side, Bill, some of what contributed to the change, Clinton Portis told me before the game he had to get lengthier cleats and even tried longer than what he started with because the middle of the field is getting torn up. They feel that Betts gives him more of that power running, that Jerome Bettis type running, so they may interchange both, but you'll see more of Betts the rest of the way.
Redskins 2 for 9 on 3rd downs. This is 3rd and 1. Dell Betts fights his way close. This is going to be very close. It'll depend on the spot, and I would imagine we'll have a measurement here. Bernie Carson's Bring Me the Chains. Late third quarter with the Redskins with a good adjustment at halftime. Came out with a good drive of 79 yards. Their best by far in the game. And they've turned the momentum around. And right here, here's a big decision. What do you do here, Bill? You're 2 inches short of the first down, but you're on your own 30-yard line.
Yeah, well, you got to punt. I mean, it's too early. You still have the whole fourth quarter, and it's only an 8-point game now, or 6-point game. I'm sorry. And right, that's when you have to make smart decisions, and the percentages have to fall on your side. And Joe Gibbs is going to make sure that happens.
Tom Tupa comes out. He's got all kinds of ability. He can run, he can throw, but again, in his own territory, it would be a little risky. 6th punt of the game for Tom Tupa. Antoine Randall has had 2 outstanding returns, one of 60 yards, one of 43 yards, to set up 10 points in the game. Tupa gets it away. Randall back to the 10-yard line. Avoids 1 man. And a second. And finally, they wrap him up at the 15-yard line. Marcus Washington doing double duty. Starting linebacker and coming down on punt coverage. 56-yard punt, 5-yard return. Don't forget,
what was that?
Tonight, get ready for an incredible adventure, Bill. 10,000 years in the making. It's the world broadcast premiere event, Ice Age, followed by special episodes.
What was that thing that jumped up?
That was the Ice Age.
No, there was like an animal or something.
Well,
there was a creature.
Out of the Ice Age.
What was it?
I don't know. Want to see it again?
What is it?
There it is.
I think it's a skunk.
And we have special episodes of The Simpsons and King of the Hill. It all begins tonight at 7, 6 Central here on Fox. From the 15, Bettis bounces off a man, spins to the 21-yard line.
Bounces off a man. Yeah, he did. Absolutely.
Picked up 6 as we come to the end of the third quarter.
Ryan Clark, the strong safety, came down in there, and he bounced it off him.
Redskins got some offense in the third quarter. Held the Steelers. Quite a game as we go to the fourth quarter.
You're watching the NFL on Fox.
Back in Pittsburgh, Sam Rosen, Bill Moss, Chris Myers, and quite a game as we go to the fourth quarter. Steelers with a 13-point halftime lead. Redskins have come back. The team that's 3-7, Washington, playing real hard, Bill. They haven't given up on this season.
And you know what? It's a belief. It's a belief in who their coach is right now. And they may not have all the parts on offense to do the things they need to get done to be real successful right now, but their belief in their coach and the things that he's done and the way he treats them. You talk to every single man on the roster, Sam. They all bring up Gibbs and how he treats them and the respect they have for him.
Here's 2nd and 4, and it's Bettis up to the 34-yard line. Picked up 3 on the play through 3 quarters. Both teams continue to try to run the ball, but neither has been overly effective because both teams have excellent rush defenses. Max Starks is coming in as an eligible receiver. The numbers are close, and the game is close now.
He's not there to be an eligible receiver.
Oh, no.
I can tell you that.
But he is eligible. He's there to push some bodies around. Rookie Bettis.
Oh,
my. And you follow that big load, Max Starks, who's 6'7", 337.
That's what he comes in for. And you're right, Sam. He is eligible because the end man on the line of scrimmage is eligible to catch passes, and it's normally the tight end. But when you bring in those big bodies, and see, there it is. And that's what he did. He just took the defensive end and shoved him right down inside, and almost was like he was on a hinge, and he was a huge door that just swung open for the bus.
Comes out at the 27. Bettis with 23 carries, 58 yards in the game. Play fake. Roethlisberger steps up.
They got him open.
And he connects with Hines Ward. We're going to take a game break. The Eagles are moving. What's going on, JB?
Well, the Giants were trying to keep it close, Sam. However, Brian Westbrook, with this little 1-yard run, caps a 7-play, 28-yard drive. Key play was a block punt by the Eagles. They're on top now, 20-6, looking for their 4th straight NFC East title. Back to Sam Rosen.
If the Eagles win, they clinch the division. Giants and Redskins will play next week at Washington. 17-yard pickup on the hookup between Roethlisberger and Hines Ward. Roethlisberger to Ward, to Ward again, excuse me. Spins, keeps going. Good battle, good effort by Hines Ward down to the 41-yard line. Ryan Clark stopped him.
Before there was Antoine Randall L. as their punt returner, there was Hines Ward. And he sits down in his zone here. He finds the opening. And look, this is the old punt return skills that come to life right here. Chucking, turning, twisting, spinning, whatever it takes to pick up the first down.
He has caught passes in 99 consecutive games, 3 today. First down at the Redskins 41. Play fake. Roethlisberger wanted to go deep. Carries. And he ought to learn to slide, Bill.
No, look at him. Look, see? Now, that's the, right there was my concoction of quarterbacks. You saw them all right there.
Right.
Watch him. I mean, he's not going to slide. He's not going to go down. He has the grit of Brett Favre. He has the height of a Peyton Manning or Dante Culpepper, and he can run and is elusive and extends plays just like Donovan McNabb. He's not going to go down.
He picked up 3 on the play. Ryder shifts. Blitz coming. Venice finds the opening. Venice rumbles. Fights off a couple of tackles. Gets down to the 22-yard line. His biggest run of the game. Smoot and Clark finally combined to take him down. He picked up 16.
Oh, my. Look at him roll. You know, they had him in the garage. He was leaking a little oil. He had a couple flat tires, Sam. They went out, they spent some money, and they brought in a new Ferrari. But when the Ferrari broke, those parts are expensive.
That's Stu Staley Ferrari.
That's right. And so you bring the bus back out of the garage, you dust them off, and you can't stop a diesel.
He's carried 24 for 74 on first down. Roethlisberger to throw. Looks to the end zone. And it's almost intercepted. No. Fred Smoot got his hands on it, but it hit the ground. And that pass underthrown by Roethlisberger. Intended for Antoine Randall L.
Well, there's a throw, and you can see Smoot makes a recovery and gets back in the way. And also, you know, I think Taylor could have been there as well, too. Sean Taylor was in the vicinity. That cover 2, normally out on the field, that would be the right place to go. But as the field gets shorter, the opening of the cover 2, that gets tighter. And there was probably a bad throw on Roethlisberger.
Second and 10. Venice takes it outside. Look at him go. He can still rumble, can he?
I don't know what he's on. I don't know where he's getting it. But I want some. Because he's running like he's 25.
That's right.
You know, and he's showing that not only will he just go straight downhill, but he's bouncing out outside and getting on the corner. And he's so patient, and he waits for his blocks. And did you see how he stuttered there and looked to see where the receiver was? And then he uses those guys to set himself up.
And the plan of attack with the run game seems to be working. 10th play of this drive. It's a 3rd and 2. Ron Haynes in the backfield. 4 wide receivers. Quick outside, too high. Intended for Hines Ward. Will bring on the field goal kicking unit. So Roethlisberger, who's usually been effective on 3rd down, has been this season, has not been sharp on 3rd downs today.
Well, you're right. But he's also facing a heck of a secondary. He is without Plexico Burress, and he's had to do everything else during the rest of the plays that weren't third down to buy himself and receivers time by avoiding the blitz. So his hands have been full.
Jeff Reed, 32-yard field goal right down the middle. Just like Bill's golf shots. Don't get any better than that. It's a 9-point lead for the Pittsburgh Steelers. A good drive. And Reed finishes off with a field goal.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Hummer. Check out the H2. Hummer, like nothing else. By Dockers, shirts and pants that do it all. By State Farm, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Coming up after football, one of the very important awards given out, the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year for 2004. Stay tuned for that coming up on Fox. Always an important honor in the sports field. Sports Illustrated's 2004 Sportsman of the Year. Sportsman of the Day could be Jerome Bettis.
Who's your candidate? You got any candidates?
Lance Armstrong's got to be in the hunt.
You know what, Sam? As long as he keeps winning that thing, to me, that's the most unbelievable feat in all sports.
You saw Deuce Staley sitting alongside Jerome Bettis. Staley will be back next week. Plexico Burress should be back next week as well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at the return yardage. Antoine Randall with two big ones in the game right here. Ricardo Coakley. There's Plexico Burress, who's injured last week, who has started to run a little bit this week and is expected back for next week's game against Jacksonville. Coakley holding. Jeffrey kicks off. It's short. Coming up to take it on the run, Liddell Betts. And he jumps into the pile at around the 27-yard line. James Harrison, who's had a big day on coverage for the Steelers, makes another tackle. Steelers have a 9-point lead. Redskins need another drive. Washington Redskins have struggled offensively this season. They have yet to score more than 18 points in a game. They don't make many big plays. They've had 2 of 20 yards or more in today's game. And they start from the 26. Clinton Portis in the backfield. Rod Gardner in motion. Ramsey to put it up. Chris Cooley at the 30-yard line is pulled back by Chris Hope. 6 catches in the game for Chris Cooley, the rookie out of Utah State, who's done a nice job as the H-back and fullback out of the backfield.
You know, Sam, they've changed just a little bit. I think they've almost succumbed to the fact that, you know, we can't move it against this defense. I mean, we're going to loosen them up a little bit. We've got to come out passing.
Gardner in motion. Here comes the blitz from Joey Porter. Ramsey slipped him and threw it wild. There was nobody there, but no grounding. No intentional grounding. It's an incomplete pass. Great job by Ramsey with Joey Porter crushing him.
Yeah, we're going to come out throwing, and Pittsburgh's going to come back blitzing. And that's what's occurring. Pittsburgh's defense has an answer for everything you do.
Porter almost had his second sack of the game. They have to get to the 41-yard line for a first down. Travis Kershke in at defensive line for the Steelers. Ramsey being blitzed. And they got him. The pass hit a helmet. It's incomplete. No, I believe they ruled him down. I think Bernie Kukar ruled him down. It's going to be a sack for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They brought the house. They brought the house.
Polamalu was in there. I know that.
That's what happens when you come out and pass against this team.
Joey Porter gets the sack.
I mean, they're all over you.
4th sack of the game for the Steelers.
They brought 7 guys. They came.
2nd of the game for Porter, and here comes the 7th punt of the game for Tom Tupa. Good defensive stand for the Steelers, protecting the lead. Antoine Randall from the 28. Makes a couple of men miss. Here he goes. There's a flag on the play. Randall racing down the sideline. He tried to stay in bounds. Tupa got enough of him to knock him out. But maybe all called back.
It is.
Penalty on the Steelers.
It certainly is.
Sean Morey.
Sean Morey, yeah. He got him, Sam. And he knew it right away. He jumped up. He saw
illegal
Antoine.
block in the back. Number 81 of the return team during the run back. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Morey apologizing to Ben Roethlisberger. Got to apologize to Antoine Randall. There's the block on Thrash. Randall almost had his third big return of the game.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Cadillac and the all-new STS. Breakthrough.
Check out this long wristband that Ben Roethlisberger has, Bill.
Well, you know, when you're a rookie, there's so many things to learn. And you want to take away the memorization of verbiage out of it. So you have a number and then the plays on the list. And he understands the play, but the verbiage, they're just trying to remove all that from him.
They have 230 plays on that wristband. On first down, they go straight ahead a couple of yards. JB's got an update on the Philadelphia Eagles. JB, what is it?
Hey, Sam. Brian Westbrook, one of the many weapons for the Philadelphia Eagles, got healthy last week, had 2 touchdowns. He's got 2 today. Take a look at this 34-yard run. Nice second and third effort. Eagles comfortably ahead, 27-6, 9:52 left in regulation. Back to Sam Rosen.
You know, if they had those wristbands with all the plays on it when Terry Bradshaw was playing, you know, he could have used all those plays. But that's how come they had to limit it to the 4 that he called.
Man, can't be mean to Terry. Roethlisberger is sacked for the 4th time in the game. And this time it's Lamar Marshall.
Well, see, I actually can. I had to get that in there because after we do those little game breaks, there's an extended window they leave open just in time so they could hear us. and they're sitting there watching all the games.
Oh, nasty, nasty, nasty. 4 sacks for the Redskins of the game.
Blitz off the top of the screen here. And that's, you know, set up perfect. You take the tight end up or the end man on line of scrimmage up, you pin the guy inside, and you bring one through the middle.
3 wide receivers in. This is 3rd and 16 for the Steelers. Baron Haynes in the backfield with Willie Parker. Roethlisberger looking, waves downfield.
Got him open.
Up in the air, Willie Parker juggles and drops it. The rookie out of North Carolina, Willie Parker. The man they call Fast Willie. Waited and waited, but he heard Sean Taylor coming, about to crush him.
Yeah, well, and that's sore Willie right now. Roethlisberger's out there, and he's directing traffic. He knows how fast Willie is, and Roethlisberger bought the play time. So he starts pointing downfield, get downfield, get downfield. He knew Willie Parker had speed, and he got downfield, but Sean Taylor's the one that busted that whole thing.
Willie Parker hurting on the sideline. At the goal line is Chris Gardocki with his 5th punt of the game.
Is he hurt or is that a tough call?
Short punt. Bounces at the 45. Bounces up to Thrash. He gets up to the 49-yard line. Good field position for the Redskins. Just under 7 minutes to go. They need 2 scores. Patrick Ramsey will try to get them. Great football coming your way next week. Doubleheader week on Fox. Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Arizona and Detroit. Minnesota and the Bears. Late games, Packers and Eagles. Giants and Redskins. It all begins with the NFL Sunday at noon Eastern. 9 Pacific. End around, throwing it, Rod Gardner. All the way down, and it's incomplete. Intended for Lavernius Coles. Gardner with a good throwing arm.
And here's the deal, though, Sam. This is what I'm talking about. Nobody's looking back at the run because they don't care if you fake the run. So you're handed off. You have a reverse. You have a fake. These defensive backs, don't care. They don't have to look back and worry about the run. They're not going to buy it, and that's why the coverage is so tight on these guys.
Liddell Betts in the backfield. 2nd and 10 from midfield. Blitz coming.
Now the problem's coming.
Ramsey's in trouble. Clark Higgins fought off the block of the rookie Mark Wilson and sacked Patrick Ramsey.
Great coverage downfield as well. Terrific coverage downfield. And Ramsey, if he had somebody open or check down to throw to, could have got the play off. But when you pass on 1st down against this Steelers team, you better believe you must complete it. Because if you don't, they are going to line up and come after you for the next 2.
5 sacks in the game for the Steelers, 36 for the season. 3 wide receivers for Washington on 3rd and 13.
And here they
Ramsey got protection. Liddell Betts fights his way down to the 42-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th down for the Redskins. Chris Hope with the tackle. Well, Bill was talking about trying to get a running game when they run more than they pass. 3-0, but they haven't done that much this season.
Yeah, or today.
That's it. 4th and 2, the Redskins will go for it. Everybody on their feet. The Steeler fans urging on the defense. Ramsey blitz, got rid of it to Cooley.
He didn't get it.
I think he may have. Yeah, he's just across the 40.
Was he pushed back?
I think he got it, Bill. He's just across the 40-yard line.
Forward progress was right there before he got pushed back.
There you go.
Hey, did you see the blitz on Ramsey?
Oh, again, they were bringing.
You know, I'm telling you, to complete that pass under pressure, that's tough to do. That is tough to do. Ramsey, look at him. He knows he's going to get hit. Completing those passes under pressure is like having babies, Sam.
How would you know?
Well, they're fun to make, but they're hard to deliver. Ramsey, that's when it's hard to deliver.
Ramsey slipped off on Olhoffen, throws, intercepted by Deshae Townsend. The first turnover of the game. The 4th interception of the season for Deshae Townsend. And the Steelers defense comes up big again. Pressure on Ramsey and the pick by Townsend.
Remember when I said they're hard to deliver, Sam? That's the babies right there. They're hard to deliver. But if you make them, they're fun as heck. He made one to get the 1st down, and then the pressure came again, and he tried to make it, and it cost him an interception. But, you know, they get there just at about 3.5 seconds.
He slipped Timo von Olhoffen. There was another player coming, and he got rid of it and underthrew the intended receiver. Bettis on 1st down comes up short of the line of scrimmage, maybe just at the line of scrimmage, the 28-yard line. Cornelius Griffin with the tackle. The Steelers looking to solidify their 9th consecutive win. It would be their first 9-game winning streak since 1976. And trying to go 10-1 for the first time since 1975. Bettis in the backfield with Ben Roethlisberger. Now Kreider moves over, and it's Bettis behind Kreider. Nice run by Jerome Bettis. Very close to the 1st down. Sean Taylor made the tackle. He spotted it just short of the 28-yard line. They're going to measure.
Take a look at this area right in here. And what they do is they overplay it. The linebacker, Pierce, he overplays it by getting over the top because Bettis starts heading that way. So as a middle linebacker, you flow that way. But what he is doing is setting you up. He cuts it back, and he creates his own holes.
And he made the 1st down. 94 yards for Jerome Bettis. 28 carries. What a workhorse. And next week, they'll have the dual tandem as Deuce Staley is ready to return.
That is, I tell you, he's the man here in Pittsburgh. He is the man, and he's been that way for a long time.
Then Roethlisberger said he could run for mayor and win easily. Here's Bettis, finds the hole, powers his way up to the 43-yard line. He's getting close to his 4th consecutive 100-yard game. Chris Myers down on the sideline. Chris.
Yeah, Sam, that offensive line of the Steelers done a good job, coached by Russ Grimm, who had 20 years in the Redskin organization as a player, member of the Hogs, and then as a coach. In fact, Joe Gibbs tried to hire him when he came back as head coach of the Redskins. And Grimm eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Joe Gibbs says Grimm belongs, and also says that Russ Grimm will be a head coach someday because he knows how to talk to players, and they respect that. Grimm said he learned that from Joe Gibbs.
Russ Grimm is semi-finalist for the Hall of Fame. Thanks, Chris. He was recruited out of high school as a quarterback and then became an offensive lineman.
Well, I got to tell you, yeah, he was an old teammate of mine, too, at the University of Pittsburgh, on some great teams that we had there. And then becoming the Hogs, and he was a good friend, and he was also a heck of a football player. I had to play against him. But this guy is what makes the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Timeout.
This holiday, discover the magic at Radio Shack with exclusive gifts for everyone on your list. Give someone the gift of cleaner air with our exclusive LifeWise Environizer air purifiers. Buy one, get a second of the same size for half price in 3 sizes starting at $99.99. Or give our exclusive LifeWise massaging bath pillow to help soothe tense muscles, only $19.99. Thoughtful gifts you'll find right in your neighborhood.
Only at Radio Shack.
Yeah, Grimm's Reapers, that offensive line. Jeff Hardings was saying the one thing about Russ Grimm, never degrades anybody, never yells, treats you like a professional, and is the best X's and O's man he's ever had as a position coach.
He got rid of all that stuff while he was playing.
3rd and 5. Bettis trying to push his way forward, gets up to the 44-yard line. The Steelers were forced to punt.
Come on, we're gonna be late. What are you doing?
Getting ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the class of 2004.
Recently, a MetLife advisor helped these parents create a financial plan so they'll be ready just in case the next 13 years go as fast as the last 5.
They're going wild in Pittsburgh because Jerome Bettis has hit exactly 100 yards on 31 carries, his 4th consecutive 100-yard rushing game. James Thrash is deep. Chris Kardaki gets it away. Good high punt. Thrash from the 6. Steelers have got it covered. He got back to the 9, and that's all. First man down was Chidi Iwoma. Number 29 finished it off. 51-yard punt, 4-yard return. Jerome Bettis with another power performance. Well, a workhorse carrying 31 times. He finished off a good drive with a touchdown run. And with Deuce Staley hurting, Jerome Bettis has carried the load.
Like I said, whatever he's got, whatever he's eating, I want it.
58th career 100-yard game, 47 as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers, tying Franco Harris's record, team record.
How is the bus on skates, Sam?
On skates, I think he'd be pretty good. He'd be solid. Joey Porter with pressure and a hit on Ramsey as he got rid of it.
No, the strike's not over.
I know. I slipped the Penguins in there. You know, I'm in Pittsburgh. I'm thinking Mario Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he's a big fan.
He is.
He's a big fan of the Penguins. I slipped one in.
You know, it's funny. I come to this stadium, and any other day of the week, you'll find fluorescent orange hats around this stadium. But tomorrow, the opening of Buck Day, it's like a holiday here. All the schools are closed, and I don't see one fluorescent orange hat in all of the stands.
Stepping up his Rams, he gets it out to Clinton Portis, and he slipped again. Chris Myers was talking about Portis having trouble with the footing, and there it was. Troy Polamalu with the tackle, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. There you go. It's not a hat, it's the fluorescent jacket.
He's got the whole jacket.
Can't miss him in the stands.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by SBC. Going beyond the call.
Jerome Bettis carrying the load for the Steelers today, and I spoke with Franco Harris, the Steeler Hall of Famer this week, who actually couldn't attend the game, although he has attended quite a few this year. He's with his mother for the Thanksgiving holiday, and he said that he roots for Jerome Bettis to break his and any of the records from his Steeler years because he's amazed at his age how he's still running strong. In fact, Harris went as far as telling me that this combo of Staley and Bettis he thinks is as good, if not better, than Rocky Bleier and Franco Harris, that running combo in the Super Bowl years.
Sounds pretty good. Thanks, Chris. Redskins out of timeouts. Ramsey looking, throwing through the hands. Another drop ball. Lavernius Coles couldn't hang on this one. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the glory years of the 1970s. 4 championships. Art Rooney, the owner, the chief. Chuck Noll, the head coach, the great receivers, and of course, the great Terry Bradshaw. Franco Harris running it. Jack Lambert, part of that monster defense. The steel curtain up front. Lynn Swann, the great receiver.
Well, I think you can draw a lot of comparisons to the two, and it's not the record. It's the style of play and the type of dominance on both sides of the ball. You know,
flags fly, stopping the play.
When you play them, it's not about out-hitting. It's not about out-scheming. It's about out-hitting. I'm sorry.
Play a game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
You know, they will test you on both sides. Physically. And there's difference in mentally, you know, well, am I going to do this? Right now, the NFL, to me, is a mental game. You see shifts and motions all over the field, and you have to keep up with them and match up with them and read routes and read this. The Steelers line up on both sides of the ball and hammer you.
This is a 4th down play, and the Redskins going for it because they need 2 scores, and they throw it to the tight end, and that's it. It's not going anywhere. Robert Royal is taken down. Hope and Polamalu take him down. And Patrick Ramsey upset because his team has come up short. Once again, the offense only puts up 7 points. They have not scored more than 18 in the game this season. They had 1 good drive in this one. Ramsey faced pressure, was sacked 5 times, hit 9 times, hurried 10. I thought he hung in there pretty well, Bill.
He did the best he can, but that's what's going to happen, Sam, if you don't establish enough of a running game to open up the other accesses to your offense. The running game in the NFL is a key, and it opens the door to everything else that can happen offensively. And if you don't have that running game, you don't have the key to anything else.
Steelers will kneel down. They will go to 10-1 for the first time since 1975. Win their 9th in the row, first time since 1976, and go to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars next week. Redskins will go to 3-8 and will play home against the Giants next week.
And the Steelers, there's Cowher. And this right here, that's Mensch. that Sam is Mensch. And you know, he's letting the clock run down. Look, he's right there. It's a chip shot. They can kick a field goal. They can do whatever. He's letting that clock run down, and he's just going to let the game be over with.
The classy man. He's won 7 division titles in his 12 years as a head coach. This is 13th. Gone to the playoffs 8 times. Last year at 6-10, we asked him, you know, were you worried that things were falling apart? He said no. I was just worried about trying to fix it, and he's turned it around.
Look at him.
And the players all talk about what kind of coach he is. You know the intensity, but the players love playing for him. Today's game, produced by Michael Burks, directed by Rich Russo, Associate Director Tom Yohe, Broadcast Associate Nara Wang, Technical producer Frank Phillips. Studio show produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Studio technical supervisor Jack Simmons. Senior producer of Fox Sports Bill Brown. Executive producers of Fox Sports Ed Gorin and David Hill. Spotter in the booth Gary Lynn. Our statistician in the booth Emmett McGuire. Mark Sosna on computer stats. Ty Yohe on the Fox box. And we thank everybody. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator, talking to Bill Cowher. They're good buddies. A terrific win once again, a defensive battle, but the Steelers defeat the Redskins 16-7.
On Week 12 of NFL Primetime, there's no turkey hangover here. Cincinnati and Cleveland light up the scoreboard right into the record books. Talk about TDs. How many would San Diego and Kansas City put in the end zone? Eli shows us the good and the bad. Either way, the Eagles soar. The Ravens fly into the storm and the Patriots in New England. Pittsburgh looks to ride the bus to their 9th straight. Randy's back in Minnesota. Vic's doing what else? Scrambling. While it's the battle of futility and for the first pick in San Francisco. Week 12 of NFL Primetime. Next.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody. We hope that you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. For Tom Jackson, Chris Berman, and all of us at ESPN, we certainly hope that's the case. And it's a football weekend. I mean, high school, college, and certainly the NFL.
Yeah, I'm still in the holiday spirit. No fights this weekend. It's all great. It's all good.
Now, look, sometimes a game comes out of nowhere, all right?
Yes.
And, oh, my, it's the second highest scoring game in the history of the NFL. Well, what's the one game that wouldn't be? That would
not going to be Cleveland, Cincy.
No. That's why they play the games, and that's why they keep going into the end zone. Bengals trail the Browns 7-0 at Cincy. Rumors swirling. Butch Davis in trouble if the Browns lay an egg. Carson Palmer, Kelly Washington, and it's a 7-7 game. Then Carson Palmer, Chad Johnson. Remember, he mailed the Browns defensive back Pepto-Bismol in the game at Cleveland, won by Cleveland, but this time Johnson, 46-yard touchdown. Then you say Hushman-Zeta, I say Hushman-Zada, touchdown, 21-13 Cincy. Kelly Holcomb starting for the injured Jeff Garcia. Steve Hyden skates in 20 yards, 27-20 Cincinnati. Bengals, Carson Palmer. You say Hushman-Zeta, you say Hushman-Zada, you say touchdown. Tom,
quite a few of them.
What's going on out here?
Everybody open in this game.
34-20 Cincy until Holcomb to Antonio Bryant. 34-27 Cincinnati. Now, late third. Rudy. Oh, by the way, he had 200 yards rushing. Touchdown, 41-27 Bengals. Here come the Browns. Kelly Holcomb. Antonio Bryant. Tom, it's still the third quarter. 41-34 Cincinnati. Now, after a field goal, which almost doesn't seem right that they're kicking field goals, 44-34, William Green. Touchdown, Cleveland, 44-41. Barry Gardner. Look at the ball. Tips off the foot into Gardner's hands, and he fumbles, stumbles down to the 1. Next play, Holcomb to Hyden. Touchdown. Cleveland has the lead, 48-44. But Rudy. 7-yard touchdown, 51-48 Cincinnati. Ken Cleveland at the 2-minute break. Munster, another drive. Oh, my, after all this, we're going to have defense? Delta O'Neal, what's that flower you have on? Touchdown. And in the second highest scoring game in the history of the NFL, the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Cleveland Browns 58-48 in a game that rocked Ohio for 966 yards, 49 first downs, and a lot of head scratching. History in the making. And only a game in 1966 between the Redskins and the Giants. And I got a funny story to tell you about that one by Washington, 72-41, with 3 seconds left. Sam Huff, who was a Redskin, and Otto Graham was the coach. He had been traded from Allie Sherman's Giants. He's very annoyed, whatever. So with 3 seconds to go, Otto Graham, they call a timeout, and they send Charlie Gogolak on to kick a meaningless field goal, 72-41, to make more points. But you don't often get to talk about that. That's the only game in the history of the NFL higher scoring than this.
Well, it's great. Where
did that come from?
It's a great football game, and that's the way they come. They come out of nowhere.
But meanwhile, Butch Davis, okay, his team played certainly offensively like the way you would like to respond, but sometimes, Tom, you get what you ask for, don't you?
Well, certainly, and I think that Butch Davis wanted all the power with the Cleveland Browns. He had that. He was the head coach. He was the GM. He was the guy in charge of personnel. He's the guy in charge of the discipline or lack of that we've seen with this football team, and I think all of those things come back to bite you. This is a team that you've been watching now for a few years, and people have been questioning, could Butch Davis bring this team around? He has not of yet, although I was impressed today with the effort that they put forth, because a lot of times when you know your coach's job is on the line, all you have to do is watch the intensity that a team puts into a game. They put a lot of intensity into the game, even though in a losing effort.
This complete control thing, not the way to go in the NFL. I'm sorry. He got rid of, he didn't get rid of, but amazingly, some very good football people were no longer at Cleveland.
Carmen Policy, Dwight Clark.
A year and a half, and not seeing it on the field. So, tenuous future for Butch Davis despite all the points. Eli's coming, but again, against the first-place team in the NFC, could the Giants wearing red work it? And, speaking of rookie QBs, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Will he ever lose?
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Flight of the Phoenix, December 22nd, only in theaters. And Spider, listed on the American Stock Exchange.
Sunday Night Football in snowy Denver, a renewal of a rivalry, only it's only a rivalry if both teams can win it. Mike Shanahan has beaten up on his old employers, the Oakland Raiders, 15-4 lifetime as coach, including a big win earlier this season. Could the Broncos beat the Raiders at home? Highlights, Stu Scott.
The Broncos and... Excuse me. You good?
Yeah, I'm straight.
Champ Bailey testing out the turf, but Ty Wheeler gets rocked by Al Wilson. Oh, we're going to see that in countdown, I'm sure. Jacked up in midair, no first down. Second quarter, 3-zip Denver, final minute. Jake Plummer.
And the Lord said you got to rise up.
Deep downfield, 85 yards to Rod Smith. Longest play in Rod Smith's career, longest play in Jake Plummer's career. 10-0 Broncos. Raiders get it back. Kerry Collins representing, getting his freak on to Jerry Porter. Porter schools Champ Bailey. 10-7 Denver at the break. Porter 6 catches, $135. 13-10 Oaktown in the fourth. Plummer hits Ashley Lilly. 57 yards to the 3. Jake 14 of 23, 245. Very next play, Reuben Drones just been balling. 28 carries, 102 yards, and this touchdown. 6th 100-yard game of the season for Reuben, 17-13 Denver. Next Raider possession, Collins pass tipped and picked by Ellis Johnson. And Big Ellis going all the way back in the snow. 32-yard return. 24-13 Denver. Later fourth, though, same score. You saw Algie Crumpler catch a touchdown pass. You know where he went to school.
North Carolina.
Ron Curry played quarterback at North Carolina, but check him out, wide out, one-handed grab, also a former point guard. That's ridiculous. 2-point conversion failed. 24-19 Denver, under 2 to go. Collins, Porter, touch. Carry 26 of 45, 339, 25-24 Oakland after the failed 2-pointer. Can Plummer answer? 16-yard run from scrimmage, moving the rock and the chains, and that sets up Jason Elam. 43-yard field goal attempt blocked by Langston Walker. Blocked, and that, Hey, y'all, Sunday Night Football continues next week with an ill matchup. The Steelers put their 10-1 mark on the line against the Jaguars. The game preceded by NFL Primetime with Boomer and TJ. Speaking of, Boom, back to you.
And now the Tennessee Titans at the Houston Texans, who lost a heartbreaker, of course, on Sunday Night Football last week as Brett Favre drove against them. This time, Jeff Fisher gets Steve McNair back last week. They won so they still feel they're in it. And why not with the way they played early? McNair to Aaron Kinney, touchdown, 7-7. Excuse me, McNair 7 for 7 and 2 touchdowns, first 2 drives. Then McNair to Derek Mason, who's had a great year, for a touchdown. And then at 21-3, the dance, not as good as his year, but the Titans lead at 21-3 in Houston. Then 21-10, last play of the half, a 41-yard field goal attempt by Texans. Now you tell me 5 years ago, remember the Music City Miracle? Here comes Tennessee again, and then it's whoop! And then wait a minute, we're not done yet, let's go back, whoop! And then wait a minute, we better get the ball, it's only a close game, and then, oh no, and then whoop! And then wait, we go across the field, and then, oh my goodness, we're back at our own 10. There's the light, there's the dart, here's a block, boom, there's a block right there, whoop! Outside of, the half's over, 21-10, Tennessee. And David Carr says this time our turn to come back to St. Dominic's Preview Davis. 11 yards, 3rd and 4, same drive. Carr to not the Red Sox, not the vice presidential candidate, but the Texans, Billy Miller. Touchdown, 21-17. 3rd down, McNair. Quarterback sneak, it's a fumble. Boy, McNair's just so careful with the ball, Tom. Texans recover. Then on 3rd and 4, play action Carr. It holds him, and then Andre Johnson is there, and the Texans have come from 21-3 down to lead 24-21. McNair 3rd and 10, 4th quarter. Antoine Peak takes a good look. Fumble! Texans ball. Under 4 to go. Still 24-21. McNair. Now here he goes against Jamie Sharper. Look at that move. McNair shaking up on the tackle but stays in just before the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 7. McNair. Drew Bennett. 1st down. Drive alive. 2-minute warning. McNair. You know what's coming. No, you don't. It's picked up by Marlon McCree. And with Bud Adams looking on in Houston for the first time in Houston, the team that replaced his team beat his team. And so the Texans are the ones that are 5-6, winning 31-21, and another big step for David Carr after the 3-game losing.
Yeah, congratulations to those Houston Texans. Shown a lot of improvement this year, and you can tell that Steve McNair is hurting, and every time he gets hit, a toll is taken on his body. I don't know how much longer he can stay in the lineup.
And for Tennessee, 4-7, pretty much in that conference, not going to work. When we return Randy Moss back, pretty much after more than a month, how would he do in a big game for Minnesota against Jacksonville? And Donovan McNabb and the Eagles, can they wrap up the division before we turn the calendar to December?
Chevrolet Fantasy Ticker is brought to you by the new Chevrolets. 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. An American Revolution.
2 games today between teams with winning records. One of them is when Byron Leftwich back after missing 2 games in a bye. 6-4 Jacksonville against Randy Moss back for 6-4 Minnesota in the Dome. So Dante Culpepper says, I got Moss, I'll find Moss. 1st down leads to a field goal. Morton Anderson, 3-0 Vikes. Then the Jags. Byron Leftwich, knee brace on, play action. That's nice. Brian Jones, touchdown, 7-3 Jaguars. Field goal, 10-3 Jaguars. Vikings to the 1. Culpepper. A sneak to tie the game at 10. So now in the 3rd quarter, we're tied at 13. 3rd and 12 Minnesota. Culpepper. This is what he can do. Big guy, 260. Finds time and finds Jermaine Wiggins from
East Boston.
He's had a big year at tight end for Minnesota. Improvisation 1st down. Then, later in the drive, 3rd and goal, Culpepper. Wow, how about this to Randy Moss, Tom? Touchdown, 20-13 Minnesota.
Yeah, watch the catch, but watch the concentration with the feet. Grabs the ball, takes it from over the defender, actually got his feet in twice. Both feet, that's 4 feet.
Now, 4th quarter, it's 20-16, and look at the sack by Bobby McCray, Sheila McCray. Good night, everybody. Fumble recovered by Jacksonville. Jags in the game. 3rd and 10. Leftwich to Troy Edwards between 3 Vikings. 29 yards, keeps the drive alive. Just before the 2-minute warning, 3rd and 6. Kenichi Udeze, the rookie, forces the fumble. Kevin Williams, and watch Antoine Winfield with the block. Could go all the way. 6'5", 311. Kevin Williams puts the game away on Udeze's hit. 77 yards. Leftwich couldn't pull a rabbit out of the hat this time. Vikings know the Packers play Monday night. Now they have a half-game lead. Jags, 2 behind the Colts, 27-16 Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota Vikings not, falling on their face as they did down the stretch last year. Maybe this will put them on the right track. Got to hang with Green Bay.
Meanwhile, to the Pacific Northwest we go. Buffalo 0-4 on the road, but they bring a good defense. Seattle an enigma this year. But the first-place team in the NFC West. Travis Henry leaves the game with a leg injury, so Willis McGahee was hurt a little bit. Well, but it's his job anyway. Touchdown, 7-0 Buffalo. After a Lindell field goal, 10-0 Bills. Sean Alexander stuffed on first down. 2nd and goal, Matt Hasselbeck playing injured. Incomplete. 3rd and goal. Hasselbeck going to try this. No! Stop. And Seattle settles for a field goal. Big stand by Buffalo. 10-3 Bills under 2 minutes and a half. 3rd and 8, Drew Bledsoe. Needed a couple hundred tickets for his friends and family. First time he's played in his home state of Washington as a pro. That's Lee Evans' first down. That's Lee Evans for 12. Then on 3rd and goal to 3. How about this rookie? Yeah, Bledsoe right back to him despite the good coverage. Right before the half, what a big score, Buffalo, 17-3. Then, 3rd quarter, Matt Hasselbeck, ball tipped. Terrence McGee with the pick. Hasselbeck, 19 of 38, under 200 today. That leads to another McGahee touchdown. Then, tricky Bills. The pitch to Willis McGahee. 30-yard touchdown. What a play, Buffalo. It's a laugher. 31-3. Then, he's been in the end zone 3 times. How about 4? Willis McGahee in the end zone. 4 touchdowns, ties the 2nd most in a game in Bills history. Only Cookie Gilchrist in the AFL 1963 with 5. And the Bills beat the Seahawks 38-9. The Bills look like the contending team in this game.
Yeah, devastating loss for the Seahawks, and we all question the deal. Willis McGahee, you had Travis Henry on the team. He's going to miss a year. It all looks like it's going to pay off for the Buffalo Bills. Tremendous running back in Willis McGahee.
So the Bills win a road game. How about PR man Scott Birchtold going to Jimi Hendrix's grave yesterday in the suburban Seattle? Turned out to be Hendrix's birthday. He knew that it would be all along the watchtower for the Buffalo Bills and put the Seahawks in a purple haze. Miami, San Francisco, the Stupid Bowl. 1-9 Miami, 1-9 San Francisco. A.J. Feely, finger appears to be dislocated. He goes out, but like the Duke, John Wayne, not the football, he comes back. And the next possession, Feely hurting. He was hurting last week. Hey! We're making a movie of it. It's Chris Chambers, touchdown. The Niners do lead 10-7 in the 4th, but Feely to Randy McMichael over the middle. Dolphins lead 14-10. And then Tim Rattay, fumble, hit by Jason Taylor. Derek Pope scores. 8 sacks by Miami, 3 by Jason Taylor. Their defense still cares. And under Jim Bates, they stayed out west. They almost won against Seattle. They stayed out west for Thanksgiving. They get a win over San Francisco, who in the common draft, and Miami too, has never actually picked number 1. They now have the inside track on the first draft.
And if you want to watch something about the Miami Dolphins, it's a character test throughout this season. Just watch how hard they play, and a test for Feely. Find out if he's their quarterback of the future.
And by the way, in case you're wondering, 79 did the Niners have the first pick? Well, they got it at trade, Tom Cousineau. They never pick first. They might this time. When we return, speaking of number 1 picks, Michael Vick. What heroics would he show us? He had some as the Falcons and Saints renewed acquaintances, and another number 1 pick, Eli Manning. Hello to the Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
The last two teams to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, Carolina last year, the Bucs who won it all 2 years ago, first meeting this season. Little grudge going between John Gruden's Bucs, John Fox's Panthers. Remember last year, 3 block kicks, including one at the end of the game, enabled Carolina to win over Tampa Bay in Week 2. That was Julius Peppers blocking Martin Grammatica's field goal. Now, this is Julius Peppers. He's a defensive end. He's downfield. Michael Pittman is going to run a long way, but look who gets him, Tom.
Yeah, watch Julius Peppers. He takes the perfect angle. He cuts him off, allows the rest of the defense to catch up and make a play.
That is absolutely amazing. Then, what else can... Oh, Peppers could do this. He could go all the way. Drops in coverage. Defensive end. 46 yards. Picks off Brian Griese. 14-7. Look at the play.
Yeah, look at the drop. Look at the hands. Look at the range. And then the speed to outrun everybody with Tampa Bay to the end zone.
And then here comes Al Wallace and the Panther defense. And Bob, boom, from behind. Pittman fumbles. And it's going to be the Panthers recovering. So, 2 minutes to go. 14-0 in the game. Martin Gramatica. No good. 1 blocked, 2 missed field goals on the day. Bad blood between him and the teams. Then, like last year in the game in Carolina, daylight come and you got a Delhomme. Jake to Muhsin Muhammad. Jake Delhomme. Ricky Prohl inside a minute, inside the 40. 30 seconds to go. Delhomme to Kerry Colbert. Got it. Touchdown. 20 seconds left. The Panthers have gone ahead of the Bucs. 21-14. Delhomme to Colbert twice. Then 5 seconds to go. Bucs have a shot. Brian Griese. What do you do, Tom?
Knock it down.
Oh.
Tim Brown almost had a play.
But he didn't. And the Carolina Panthers have dealt John Gruden and the Bucs a blow so that both teams are 4-7. Yes, I know it's the NFC. Yes, I know you can get in at 9-7, maybe even 8-8. But this one, give Carolina, defending champs, credit.
That's
They've
right.
now won 3 games in a row, and despite 347 yards thrown by Griese.
And I think you said this morning he was one of your game breakers. Nick Goings, as the team goes right now, it goes with Nick Goings. He runs the ball, they get play action pass.
So, meanwhile, the team at the top of that division, the NFC South, 8-2 Atlanta. That would be Michael Vick at home against division rival New Orleans. Watch this. And what? I'm gone. I mean, was that another gear, Tom, or what? 16-yard touchdown, Vick. 7-play drive, 7-0 fouls. 17-6 third quarter. Ace, deuce, plenty of use. Deuce McAllister, 12-yard run to the Atlanta 7. Aaron Brooks. No funny passes from him today, not the likes of what we've seen. But wait a minute. Brooks with a touchdown, and now 2-point try good at 17-14. Michael Vick. Speaking of defensive linemen with good hands, Charles Grant having a big year for New Orleans and a sorry season for the Saints. Has the Saints in business at the 30. 4th and 1. Same drive, sneak, Brooks, first down. Same drive, Brooks to Joe. Don't bother me right now, I'm on the horn. Touchdown, 7 yards, 21-17. The Saints have come back in Atlanta. But here comes Atlanta. Warwick Dunn, not so fast, it's a fumble. James Allen, 3 minutes to go. Saints have iced it. No, they've not. 3 and out, they punt. Michael Vick, under 2 minutes. L.G. Crumpler, 27 yards, down to the 20. Vick, what? How does he do it? Crumpler, touchdown. The Saints crumple by the great athletes Vick and Crumpler, 24-21. But New Orleans has a shot. Brooks needs a miracle. He can throw it now. Number 1 pick, D'Angelo Hall, picks it off. Jim Morris, Atlanta Falcons, are 9-2. They're 5 up in the division with 5 to go. And Atlanta they've run for 190 yards, 4 straight games. Today was 186, but you get the picture. Rushing the football is what they can do.
Yeah, great change of pace with Duckett and Warwick done. You get 2 different styles of runner, and don't measure Mike Vick by the numbers, just measure him by what he does.
So we sit Atlanta now up by 5 with 5 to go. The Philadelphia Eagles had a very rare chance to wrap up a division in November after only 11 weeks. They go into the Meadowlands to face Eli Manning, game 2 of the Eli Manning era in New York. And here we go with a prime time as we go. And Sal Paolantonio said it would be bad weather.
Till 3 o'clock.
Well, it's Sal not on the Weather Channel yet. But Eli Manning warming up inside. Now what happens here? Hey, outside, the weather outside was frightful. Giants do recover after the... What? Gonna happen.
Yeah, and we'll find out. You know, in this league, you have to be able to throw that wet ball.
Well, now Manning, boy, he can throw the deep ball, though, Tom, to Jamar Taylor, down to the 10. Giants get a field goal. Steve Christie, they lead Philly 3-0. 3rd and 2 at the 4, Philly. Donovan McNabb, play fake, touchdown. Eagles lead 7-3, and he gets a block.
Yeah, watch L.J. Smith here. He's going out for a pass, but he sees that his quarterback's going to run the football. You immediately turn up, become a blocker, and gives him that corner right there, front corner of the end zone.
So later in the second, the score is still 7-3 Manning. How about the Giants wearing those red uniforms from, what, the 50s, I guess? Just a year or two. Jeremy Shockey doing the T.O.
It's just the first down.
Yes, thank you. Meanwhile, Mark Semino, it's just a sack. Manning sacked 5 times by the Eagles defense of the real Jim Johnson. There, McNabb looking, rolling, fumble, ball hit his leg. Giants recover. They get a break. 6.5 to go in the half. Terrell Owens quiet in the first half, but quiet for him, right?
Yeah, not a lot of balls thrown at him. You see the drop right there, but one of the things that you've watched with T.O. this year, quiet for long periods of time and then explodes onto the scene. Big plays coming.
Akers has kicked a field goal, make it 7-6. Then, after a Manning fumble, Eli Manning going deep to Jamar Taylor. Wow! Inside the 5. So the Giants in business, 1st and goal. Fade route to Shockey. He giveth, he taketh away. Quinton McKell with a big pick as the Giants and Archie and the Manning family watching in dismay. Then Manning overthrows and picked off by Brian Dawkins in the 3rd quarter of a 10-6 game. 6 of 21, Eli today against the defense that shows you a lot of stuff. Then, Javon Kurtz, unmarked on the left side, blocks the Jeff Eagles punt. Eagles recover, setting up a Brian Westbrook touchdown. 20-6. McNabb, T.O., 1st down. Now, here's his dance. Barrett Green, and then T.O. like a punter looking for 15 yards.
It's great.
When the screen works, Tom, it's the nicest play in football. The screen to Brian Westbrook. He cuts at the 20, shakes a tackle to the 15, and the rest is the little guy from Villanova. Touchdown, 27-6. And the Eagles go on, as they did last week. Tight game, Washington for half. Big second half. They do the same with the Giants, and they beat them by the count of 27-6. And so the Philadelphia Eagles have become only the 3rd team to clinch a division in 11 games after the 16-game schedule is instituted in 1978. Mike Ditka's Bears, 1985, 97 Niners. And now the Eagles. The Eagles defense. Jim Johnson, and Andy Reid said it this week, is going to bring the fastball to the youngster Eli Manning. He brought the fastball. You see the sacks. And Philly's defense, as a look, it may not be the greatest defense you've ever seen.
Good enough.
They look a lot better than they did a month ago.
Yeah, I think that they're playing together and playing well. They have the scheme now that Jim Johnson wants. He's got the people in place I think that he wants. Certainly, congratulations to Andy Reid and the Eagles for winning their division, but they're going to keep eyeballing these steps as they come. Next comes home field advantage. Then you start looking toward the playoffs. And the last couple of weeks before this game, they did a great job in terms of their rush defense. They were giving up just over 60 yards a game. Today, they gave up 166, even though they won. And it's something that Coach Reid is going to keep his eye on. He's going to be watching this. He wants to have this team playing perfect football by the time they get to the playoffs.
Well, Hey, at 10-1 in division champs, and we're not in December.
Playing pretty good.
That would be pretty good football again. Congratulations to the Eagles, 4 straight division crowns, and they have their eyes on bigger prizes. When we return, we have our eyes on other games here in week number 12.
Including the Jets on the road in the dry heat of Arizona. My favorite, Martin. How would he do? Dante Hall had it both ways for the Chiefs and Chargers in a wild and woolly game in Arrowhead.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
The Jets out in the desert. In Arizona, Quincy Carter led him to an ugly but yet road win last week with a touchdown pass with 5 minutes to go. Emmitt Smith looks like just a basic tackle. And he'd leave the game, would not return. The score tied at 3 at the half. Carter knocked out early with a head injury. Brooks Bollinger played for the Jets, but here he is in the third quarter. Santana Moss, wow, looking backwards, touchdown, 69 yards, 13-3, Jets. Sean King, starting second game, Watt, picked off by Jonathan Vilma. Bring Dino out and give him a walk. He had Larry Fitzgerald over.
Yeah, you watch here, and it's a great shot to watch the route unfold. You see Larry Fitzgerald break to the middle of the field. This is wide open in the NFL, and he throws the ball about 5 yards short. Inexplicable throw for a veteran quarterback.
And so King pulled Josh McCown's pass complete to Anquan Bolden, but former guard David Barrett fumbles, and then Vilma falls on the ball. Barney, can I borrow your car? Now, late in the fourth, Tears of McCown has time. Down 13-3. Picked off by David Barrett. So Herm Edwards and the Jets go into the desert again. Not the most impressive win you'll ever see. But last time I checked, the Jets were 8-3. A win is a win is a win. 2 road wins with Quincy Carter and Arizona.
What's going on? They had a nice thing going.
Yeah, Arizona, you have to wonder about the shift to Sean King at the quarterback position when they had won 3 or 4 games, and Curtis Martin continues to be the driving force with the Jets, 1 yard short of the century mark.
Talk about a good game. San Diego, Drew Brees. They don't wear those hats in San Diego very much, do they, Tom? In Kansas City where it was cold. 14-7 Kansas City. LaDainian Tomlinson, after Brees completes a couple of big third down passes, ties the game at 14. 17-14 Chiefs at the half. Dante Hall, Pro Bowl season last year, 4 returns for touchdowns. Here he goes again. Good. Go. Oh, Kasim Osgood is chasing. Gerald Pippins recovers. He just dropped the ball. Amazing. Chargers get a break.
I've actually done this in a game, so I clearly understand what can happen. It hits something on your body, and it comes out. Nobody knows what happens except
I've dropped my script running late into the studio, too. Antonio Gates hit hard by Dexter McCleon, but Gates, man, he has just authored, here it is again, Gates has authored just a tremendous season. Watch this play. Drew Brees out in front blocking on an end around to Eric Parker, who pens a 38-yard gain down to the 12. It sets up a field goal to tie it at 17, but then Derek Blaylock. Priest Holmes out, Blaylock, 22-yard touchdown. Kansas City misses the extra point, but they go ahead 23-17. Then Brees. Watch Brees and Gates in the red zone. Yikes! Antonio Gates, touchdown. 24-23 San Diego. Then Hall says, you know what, give me another chance. Put me in, coach. I can play center field. I don't think Nate Kading's going to get him. This time he really could go all the way. Dante Hall, 96 yards, 2-point conversion, good. 31-24 Chiefs. First and goal for the Chargers, though. Right back down the field, and here's Gates in the red zone.
Yeah, in the red zone, he gets a little bump right there, but you can see he's got too much strength, power, lower body control for any safety to handle him. Just stay between the ball and the defender, just like in basketball. Same thing.
Capital One Mascot True Love Challenge.
Nothing like a day in the sun to see if Melissa's love for one of these...
Nate Katie missed a couple of field goals. His field goal good, 34-31. Trent Green, incomplete. And the San Diego Superchargers have gone into Kansas City, where they have lost 7 straight times. They've gone into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs 34-31. Marty Schottenheimer used to coach the Chiefs in Kansas City. Lifetime that makes him 66-22. And what a win for the San Diego Chargers, who really have come from nowhere. And now they put the onus on the Broncos, who they host next week.
That's right.
Going into the Sunday night game, they lead them by a half a game.
Yeah, and a lot of people playing well, but if there is a key, it is Drew Brees to Antonio Gates. You know, it's hardest to score once you get into the red zone. We talked this morning on Countdown about the fact, get a bump on the guy. Here you're going to see Gates. This is not in the red zone. It's the other team's red zone, actually. But again, untouched off the line of scrimmage. This is against cover 2. It's over the top of the cornerback, in front of the safety, toward the sideline, that 7-route flag route that we talked about. Here Gates again on the bottom of the screen. Now we are inside the red zone. Off the line of scrimmage, comes untouched, gets right onto the safety. Now he's got a 2-way cut. He makes the cut toward the corner. Again, the big body keeps it in between the defender and the football. Here he's going to get a slight bump, but you have to do more to this guy. You have to stay there, jam, then go to the flat route if you're the linebacker, help protect your safety. And we're going to take a look at this from another angle, end zone camera. Look at Drew Brees eyeball his favorite target, waiting for him to make his cut, and he knows if he puts it up, this is basically, you know, he's a former basketball player. It's all about the rebounding, getting yourself in a position to take the ball away from somebody else. And I think really at heart, that's what makes him such a great player when you get down close.
The record for tight ends catching touchdown in a season, 12 by 4 different guys, one being our own Mike Ditka, who was a rookie in 61. Gates now has 11, and you know, he's just learning the position. And how about this? 498 yards for Kansas City offense, almost 37 minutes with the ball. And Drew Brees, let's see, they made no turnovers. 28 of 37 for 378. Marty Schottenheimer says Marty Ball is dead. Whatever it is he's doing, it's alive and well. And the Chargers have come from nowhere and are going in December in first place. When we return, the bus. Another start for him. Would he get 100 yards? Would the Steelers still win? And the New England Patriots in the game between the teams with best records, Patriots in the slop hosting Baltimore.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Perfect 8 for 8 under Ben Roethlisberger. Their only home game in a month, facing the Washington Redskins. First quarter, the Skins and Steelers, the top 2 defense ranked in football for yards. So we look to special teams. Antoine Randall L. on the punt return. 60 yards, sets up a Pittsburgh field goal, 3-0 Pittsburgh. 4th and 1, Steelers going for it. With the slop, they decided to wait another week for Deuce Staley, Tom. Jerome Bennett, that's what he does, 4th and short.
And he has been amazing the last month in terms of what he's provided in terms of rushing for this football team.
And how about catching the dump pass? The play goes 20 yards, and it's inside the 10. 1st and goal now. Bennett from the 4. Touchdown. 4-yard run. 10-0 Pittsburgh. 11 TDs, tying a career high for guys the 5th leading rusher all time. Now 13-0 Joey Porter with the sack of Patrick Ramsey. Redskins right before the half go for it. 4th and 4, knowing points at a premium. James Thrash drops the good pass by Ramsey.
And those are the things you have to do to protect a young quarterback. You've got to help him out again by making those catches for him.
13-0 at the half, now 13-7, but Bettis, left side, 16 yards. 4th straight game for 100 yards. He has that exactly. 31 carries, 100 yards. That leads to a field goal, 16-7. Here come the Steelers. Porter with the backside blitz. Sacks Ramsey, 1 of 5 sacks. Washington plays D2, Tom. Watch this, the rookie. Sean Taylor, Bob, boom, to the rookie Willie Parker. But Pittsburgh plays the D. Oh!
He reminds me of Roy Williams because he's bringing extra body weight with the impact.
Chemo Von he makes the pressure. Deshae Townsend makes the pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost in week 2 to Baltimore in the game that Roethlisberger replaced Maddox. Since then, they've won them all. Steelers, 16. The Redskins, 7. In a game that Bettis, again, had 100 yards. Talk this week with the disappointing season of the Skins. Joe Gibbs, reevaluating things. He was pretty adamant after the game.
My health is superb. No, it's not something I think about. I made a commitment to come here, and I feel bad for Dan, our fans, and everybody, our players, and we're all fighting our guts out trying to get something going. So I don't know where that came from.
It came from reported that Joe, the diabetes is maybe wearing him down. But look, Joe Gibbs is already a Hall of Fame coach. And by the way, I mean, it's like a car that, pulled all of a sudden into the passing lane. We don't quite have the oomph again. But I think being a NASCAR guy, he'll know how to find that oomph.
You listen to Joe Gibbs, and you hear a guy with a lot of pride.
Yes.
And whether it's been the NFL or whether it's been NASCAR, which Chris is talking about, he has been a champion, winning the Super Bowl with 3 different quarterbacks at the helm. So this is going to leave a sour taste in his mouth, and if at all possible, he is going to come out and he's going to turn this thing around. I mean, he's one of the greatest coaches I've ever seen stand on the sideline. Yes, it hasn't worked out thus far this year, but I certainly wouldn't doubt the fact that somehow Joe Gibbs is going to make all of this work, and he's going to make it work pretty quickly.
He's got a good defense to work with.
That's right. Good defense to start with. LeVar Arrington still not actually playing for that defense. So you get that kind of guy back, he's going to make some impact.
Did we say defense, Tom?
Defense.
Because I think we have pretty good defenses at work in this game in the slop at New England. That would be the New England Patriots, have won 24 of their last 25 games, and the Baltimore Ravens on the Steelers' heels in that division because they've allowed the fewest points in football. You knew it would be a slugfest in Foxborough. Here we go with our prime cut. Late kickoff in New England. It was nasty. It's hard. It's hard. It's a hard read. You could have, babe. Mud 2 inches deep. Tom Brady says, let's go to work. As you might expect, points to come slowly. Brady away from pressure. Look at that. Daniel Graham, 22 yards. And then I don't care what the weather is, Adam Vinatieri, it's always good. Always good. Snow, rain, mud, 2,000 degrees. 16 straight regular season games. Patriots have scored first, 3-3 at the half. 3rd and 1. Kyle Bowler played well the last 2 weeks. Boom! Look at the hit by Teddy Bruschi. Bruschi, maybe the one. Is there anyone indispensable on the defense? You might start with Bruschi. Forces the punt. Look at the stiff arms by Corey Dillon.
This is the best contact runner in football. He was in Cincinnati. He is here with the defending world champions. He gets the contact. He actually enjoys it. He gets a little burst after somebody touches him.
And then Dillon runs right, makes the juke, puts the arm out again, and then boom, lowers the shoulder 18 yards. 3rd and 6. Brady to Deion Branch from Louisville, 15 yards. He's back. You saw it Monday night. It's a first down. Start of the 4th quarter, same drive. Dillon, boom, touchdown. 2-point conversion. Good. 17-3 New England. And now, here we go. Richard Seymour. You know there's always somebody doing something.
Richard Seymour, outstanding defensive end. Put him at the fullback position. Get me a lead block. Clear away for your running back. He actually blocks 2 guys to clear the way for Corey Dillon.
Named Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. Charlie Weiss, offensive coordinator, likes what he sees. The Patriots are like this, too. Teddy Johnson having his best season in several years for New England. Healthy, 10-yard sack. Bowler, pressure, mud. Bruschi with the hit. Fumble, end zone. Jarvis Green, touchdown. New England's defense scoring.
Yeah,
24-3.
Coming off the edge, Bruschi and everybody on his team makes big plays. He's finishing Bowler off right there, knocks the ball out somehow. They get a score.
So even on a day with the muck and the mire, I know the defense scored again. The difference is New England scoring, in the mid-20s or more all the time. They get the running with Dillon and 41 rush attempts, 144 yards. You talked about it, Tom, with 36 minutes of control. This is what's different about New England. The running, on a good day, allows them to throw it deeper. They got a much bigger package.
Corey Dillon is a ball control type back. He will allow you to kill the clock in close games. And if we remember last year, this is their defense that they took down the stretch, giving up 3, 6, a touchdown a week, a shutout every now and then. They became very hard to score on once you got to December.
Well, by the way, New England, 10-1. When we return, game balls. Hit a lot of games and at a lot of points.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Grab yourself a great-tasting low-carb Miller Lite. And in part by Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. And Nexium. Talk to your doctor about prescription Nexium. Primetime Performers, brought to you by Nexium. Talk to your doctor about prescription Nexium.
Boomer, my game ball goes to Willis McGahee of the Buffalo Bills. 28 carries, 116 yards, 4 touchdowns, 38-9 road win. Hadn't won on the road all year. Go to Seattle against a tough football team and beat them badly.
No way! Circles the wagon.
Like the Buffalo
They're going to have a big finish. You can feel it. And you know what? I like pride. Carolina's not going anywhere, but they remember how they got there last year, and Julius Peppers did it all. Interception, sacks, said 7 sacks the last 4 games after a, quote, slow start. He blocks field goals. He does it all. And now we steamroll towards December with the AFC, went 5-1 again this weekend, 32-18. You have the separation more so of the haves and the have-nots, and New England, Philly, Pittsburgh, they're cruising here, Tom.
And very good football teams that are playing consistent football, and keep an eye on Atlanta as well. Mike Vick is Mike Vick.
Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving again. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching Primetime.